Check, 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 check. That's okay.
test test 1 2 3 test test. Check check 1 2 3.
Career with Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. Salam tertib, damai, dan bahagia. And B. UST is supported by professional lecturers committed to providing quality education. Local students are from 33 provinces in Indonesia. UST also has overseas students from Asian and Middle East countries. UST offers scholarships and grants for local and international students. Our students win local, national, and international competitions. Students are prepared to complete their study on time. In research, UST has achieved Utama level and for community service has also achieved level of sangat baik or very good. UST has also collaborated with many local and foreign institutions to preserve and develop culture. UST keeps expanding the mutual partnerships with local and foreign institutions. Let's achieve your bright future career with Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. Salam, tertib, damai, dan bahagia. Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa is located in the special province of Yogyakarta, Indonesia. It was established by Ki Hajar Dewantoro on 15 November 1955. He was the founding father of Tamansiswa and also the first Minister of National Education of the Republic of Indonesia. UST is currently led by Ki Profesor Dr. Andes Haji Pardimin MPD, PhD.
Selamat datang di Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa Yogyakarta, universitas yang melahirkan generasi unggul.
UST has a great vision to be one of leading Asian universities in 2025 based on Tamansiswa principles. UST has enhanced the three pillars of higher education, known as Tridharma Perguruan Tinggi, into four pillars called Catur Dharma by adding the preservation and development of culture to its original pillars of higher education. UST manages 5 faculties and 1 graduate program with the accreditation A, Unggul, and B. UST is supported by professional lecturers committed to providing quality education. Local students are from 33 provinces in Indonesia. UST also has overseas students from Asian and Middle East countries. UST offers scholarships and grants for local and international students. Our students win local, national, and international competitions. Students are prepared to complete their study on time. In research, UST has achieved Utama level and for community service has also achieved level of sangat baik or very good. UST has also collaborated with many local and foreign institutions to preserve and develop culture. UST keeps expanding the mutual partnerships with local and foreign institutions. Let's achieve your bright future career with Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. Salam, tertib, damai, dan bahagia. Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa is located in the special province of Yogyakarta, Indonesia. It was established by Ki Hajar Dewantoro on 15 November 1955. He was the founding father of Tamansiswa and also the first Minister of National Education of the Republic of Indonesia. UST is currently led by Ki Profesor Dr. Andes Haji Pardimin MPD, PhD.
Selamat datang di Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa Yogyakarta, universitas yang melahirkan generasi unggul.
UST has a great vision to be one of leading Asian universities in 2025 based on Tamansiswa principles. UST has enhanced the three pillars of higher education, known as Tridharma Perguruan Tinggi, into four pillars called Catur Dharma by adding the preservation and development of culture to its original pillars of higher education. UST manages 5 faculties and 1 graduate program with the accreditation A, Unggul, and B. UST is supported by professional lecturers committed to providing quality education. Local students are from 33 provinces in Indonesia. UST also has overseas students from Asian and Middle East countries. UST offers scholarships and grants for local and international students. Our students win local, national, and international competitions. Students are prepared to complete their study on time. In research, UST has achieved Utama level and for community service has also achieved level of sangat baik or very good. UST has also collaborated with many local and foreign institutions to preserve and develop culture. UST keeps expanding the mutual partnerships with local and foreign institutions. Let's achieve your bright future career with Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. Salam, tertib, damai, dan bahagia.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam dan bahagia. Welcome to National Seminar at Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa, Yogyakarta. On this special occasion, the Graduate Program in English Education Directorate of Graduate Program and English Education Department, Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa, Yogyakarta, proudly present the National Seminar Penguatan Pendidikan Karakter Melalui Peningkatan Pembelajaran Bidang Studi. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's thank God for blessing and granting us good health so that today we can be here joining this national seminar. There are some topics that we will be discussed and explore in today's seminar: differentiated learning, the implementation of Merdeka curriculum, language teaching assessment, and language skill development in 21st century. And on behalf of the committee, we would like to say and express our sincere gratitude to all of the guests and participants. May God bless and lead us in every effort that we do today to gain better future. And to begin our seminar today, ladies and gentlemen, we are inviting you all to sing Indonesia Raya National Anthem, and it will be continued by Mars Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. And for this special moment, we kindly ask all of the participants who join offline to stand up, and to all of the participants who join online, ladies and gentlemen, please turn on your camera and mute the sound. Thank you. To our distinguished guests, Bapak Vincenzius Tala SPD, the chairperson of this national seminar, Professor Dr. Ki Supriyoko, Director of Graduate Program, Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa, Dr. Sylvester Goridus Sukur MPD, Vice Rector for Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa, Dr. Didi Rinan Sumekto MPD, Vice Director of Graduate Program, Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa, Bapak Hananjo Darjito PhD, the head of the Graduate Program in English Education, Ibu Adria Vitalia Gemilang MHum, the head of English Education Department, our honorable speakers, Associate Professor Dr. Mahendran Maniam from Sultan Idris Education University Malaysia, Professor Suwarsih Madya MA PhD, Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa Indonesia, Dr. Rebecca Evelyn Laila MRE, Universitas Nias Raya, Dr. Rifki Aulia Erlangga MHum, Universitas Negeri Salatiga, Dr. Selnistia Hidayania MPD, Universitas Islam Negeri Sultan Maulana Hasanuddin Banten, and all participants, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your willingness to join and participate in our program today. Well, dear audience, we would like to start our program today by praying. Hopefully everything that we plan will run successfully and give us advantages. Ladies and gentlemen, moment of silence begin. Finish? Well, dear audience, now is the time for chairperson of this national seminar to give the welcoming speech. And for this opportunity, we'd like to welcome Bapak Vincenzius Tala, SPD. The time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam, salve, namo buddhaya, salam kebajikan, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. First of all, I should be grateful to God Almighty for His guidance and organization so that we can meet at this extraordinary national seminar event, even though it is held virtually. I'm glad to express my gratitude and extraordinary appreciation to Mr. Professor Dr. Isu Priyoko for his willingness to give a speech and officially open this seminar. Many thanks and welcome to our extraordinary keynote speakers, Professor Dr. Mahendran Maniam, Associate Professor at Sultan Idris Education University, and Professor Dr. Suwarsih Madya MA from Tamansiswa University. Great appreciation also for Dr. Rebecca Evelyn Laila, Greater Nias University, Dr. Rifki Aulia Erlangga MHum from UIN Salatiga, and Dr. Selnistia Hidayania MPD from UIN Sultan Maulana Hasanuddin Banten. Ladies and gentlemen, in ngarsa sung tulada ing madia mangun karsa tutwuri handayani. At the front, an educator must provide an example of good action. In the middle or among students, the teacher must create initiative and ideas, and from behind, a teacher must provide encouragement and direction. Today, we will be invited to really understand the philosophy of our father of nation education, Ki Hajar Dewantara, together with our extraordinary resource person in a national seminar with the theme Strengthening Character Education through Improving Learning in the Field of Study. Welcome to this activity, and I humbly ask Mr. Professor Dr. Ki Supriyoko to officially open this seminar. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Well, thank you very much to the chairperson of this national seminar, Bapak Vincencio Stala, SPD. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the next speech will be delivered by Dr. Sylvester Goridus Syukur, MPD, the Vice Director of Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa, and also Dr. Sylvester Goridus Syukur, MPD, will officially open this national seminar. The time is yours.
Good morning, salam dan bahagia. Professor Mahendran, that is the special greeting in our university here. So when I say salam dan bahagia, the response is salam. Okay, once again, salam dan bahagia. The Honorable Associate Professor Mahendran and Ibu Prof. Suwarsi, Pak Vincent Tala as the committee head of this national seminar. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let's thank God for the blessings on today's event so that we can be here to have this national seminar. Today's topic is very, very important because that's what we only hope in the future. That is character education. You know, in terms of knowledge, actually with the rapid development of technology, yeah, everyone can access every piece of information from the internet. If you see the development of AI, yeah, everywhere is there. So in the future generation of human race will compete with the robots. In terms of knowledge and brain, the robots may have also the brain in the future. So in this case, we might lose, our generation, maybe in 10, 15 or 20 years. So what is left then in the human race that the robots don't have? That is the character, the budi pekerti, yeah. That's what we have. So it's very important for us to be here today with these two very distinguished speakers, yeah, to enlighten us in terms of how to implement the character education in our English education, in the real life practice in our school to our students. I hope that all of us will be enlightened today, yeah, by our great speakers today, so that we have fruitful things today for the development of ourselves, our future generation, in terms of the development of character education. So to cut the time, on behalf of the Rector of Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa, I hereby formally open this seminar, this national seminar. Thank you, good morning, and have a nice seminar.
Thank you very much, Bapak Dr. Sylvester Goridus Syukur, MPD, the Vice Director for Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa, who has officially opened this national seminar. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now we would like to have photo session. Could you please, all of the online participants, to turn on your camera right now, because the committee will take your picture together. And also to all of the participants who joined offline, please get ready, because the committee will also take your photo together after the online participants. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are preparing for the online participant to be prepared, because the committee once again would like to take your picture. Well, now is the time for all of the online participants to be prepared because the committee would like to take your photo. Could you please, the committee, help to make this happen? Or I think just be in front. Okay, go ahead. Just. Oh, okay. So now. Okay. I think so. Okay, or maybe just like Ibu Pak Sil, could you come forward, and later the participant will be follow behind. Just Prof. Suwarsi, could you please come forward? Di depan aja Ibu nggih. Peserta monggo di belakang mawon. What about the student? Yeah, the student at the back. Belakang. Monggo biar waktunya. Di belakang aja Mas. Yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the National Seminar Penguatan Pendidikan Karakter Melalui Peningkatan Pembelajaran Bidang Studi is officially open. Now we would like to inform you about today's program. The first is going to be a presentation from our keynote speakers, to be continued with the token presentation, and then we will have the closing for the seminar, and then we will have the break time. But then after the break time, we would like to continue with our last program, which is the parallel session. Well, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's start our first program today. It is a presentation by our keynote speakers. In this program, we will have two presenters. The first, Associate Professor Dr. Mahendran Maniam from Sultan Idris Education University, Malaysia. The second is Professor Suwarsi Madya, MA PhD from Universitas Sarjanawiyata, Tamansiswa, Indonesia. And then for this special moment, we would like to invite Ibu Laksmi Widyarini M. Hum as the moderator. Ibu Laksmi Widyarini M. Hum, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mas Yono, for the kind introduction. First of all, I like to check my audio first. Is my voice okay, guys? Everyone attending in Zoom? And also everyone attending our YouTube channel. So this is a hybrid seminar. So we have the offline guests here, and also we have attendance in Zoom and also in YouTube channel. Okay, right. So distinguished keynote speakers, distinguished guests, faculty members, fellow teachers, and students attending this seminar online and offline. Once again, good morning, salam dan bahagia. Okay, welcome to the National Seminar on Penguatan Pendidikan Karakter Melalui Peningkatan Pembelajaran Bidang Studi. If I may translate that into English, so more or less, strengthening character education through improving core subject learning. And this seminar is hosted by the undergraduate and graduate programs of the English Education departments in Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa, Yogyakarta. And once again, this is a hybrid seminar, so it's also live streamed on our university YouTube channel, UST Jogja Official, and also in our Zoom meeting. Okay, Bapak, Ibu, and rekan-rekan mahasiswa, before we start, I would like to inform some housekeeping rules during this hybrid seminar, especially for the audience joining the Zoom room. Okay. First, please stay muted during our keynote presentation. Yeah, you will be allowed to speak later during the discussion. Yeah, so that the voice does not disturb the presentation. Okay, and then during the presentation, the audience in Zoom and also in YouTube channel can ask questions. Yeah, by typing them in the chat box, and then the speakers will answer your questions during the discussion session. Okay, right. So, Bapak, Ibu, dan rekan-rekan mahasiswa, two keynote speakers have been present here with us, sitting at the center, Associate Professor Dr. Mahendran Maniam. Yeah, he's from Sultan Idris Education University, UPSI. And at the far right, Professor Dr. Anda Suwarsih Madya, MA, PhD, and I think you know her very well. She's our faculty member, Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. Okay, Bapak, Ibu, and rekan-rekan mahasiswa, Professor Mahendran Maniam will be our first panelist to deliver his theme. And his theme for today's seminar is, okay, let me, oh yeah, thank you, Prof. It's the updated one. Yeah, fostering future leaders, character educations in life, society for educators, and amidst emerging trends. Okay, so that's the topic of Professor Mahendran for today's seminar. And I would like to read the summarized resume of Professor Mahendran. You have quite an extensive resume, Prof. So I will read the most current one. Yeah. Okay, Professor Madya Dr. Mahendran Maniam. He's a lecturer from the Faculty of Languages and Communication, University Pendidikan Sultan Idris Tanjung Malim, Perak, Malaysia. He specializes in applied linguistics, teacher education, research methodology, literature, and translation. And then for his academic qualification, 2009 ijazah Dokter Falsafah dari University Islam Antarbangsa Malaysia. 2004 ijazah sarjana University Malaya, 2000 ijazah sarjana muda University Putra Malaysia, 1989 diploma Maktab Perguruan Persekutuan Pulau Pinang. And then for his research, developing a model for strategy-based English language teaching in Tamil schools from high performers to non-performers, why Indians in Malaysia are not performing in sports anymore. An exploratory study of the characteristics of high-performing Tamil schools in Malaysia, pengaruh bahasa ibunda bahasa Tamil dalam penulisan bahasa Malaysia di sekolah Tamil. And then English proverbs dying a slow death in Malaysian schools, a survey in primary and secondary schools in Klang Valley. So those are among other his extensive research. And then for the publications, I think I will cite the 20 and 23 only, Prof, because you have so many publications. Yeah, Guys, you can just Google his name and then you will be provided with lots and lots of information about his publication. Okay, 2023, the effects of mother tongue interference among ESL learners' speaking skills, conceptualizing principles servant leadership with religious values and power distance in relation to teachers' job satisfaction, language learning strategy, comparisons of online and face-to-face ESL classrooms, the effects of 36663 layout, and gender differences in writing narrative essay among junior 3 ESL learners. And then the 2022, examining the utilization of extensive reading from the perspective of ESL students' reader response, examining the utilization of extensive reading from the perspective of ESL students' reader responses. And the list is just go on. So I am provided with 14 pages of your CV, Prof. That's amazing. Right, so I think that is that for Professor Mahendran resume. And now let's cut the cheese and start the your presentation, Prof. More or less 30 to 45 minutes. Lakshmi.
Lakshmi.
Sounds Indian
Yeah. Right.
Thank you. Yes,
Thank you.
Lakshmi.
Thank you, Miss Lakshmi. Sounds like an Indian name from from India, and surprisingly, my first girlfriend's name was also Lakshmi. That was like what 40 years ago when I was young. Okay, Lakshmi is very. I was like got a shock when she said her name is Lakshmi. All right.
You remember, sir?
All right. So I would like to take this opportunity. First of all, thank you so much for UST, this university, the seminar chairman who did the opening just now, to all my beloved friends, the lecturers. I was very humbled and touched when yesterday Dr. Hanan waited for me at the airport to pick me up, and then Dr. Didik joined me later for dinner, and so many. Then my Prof. Swase, I know her for many years. She's not new to me. I've been to Jogja many times. I've even taught in Universitas Negeri Jogja, where Prof. Swase was attached to there last time. Yeah. So for her PhD students, I've also conducted some seminars. So she's also like my mentor. Okay, so you can give her a clap because she has a very impressive record. And I came to Indonesia 10 years ago, or maybe before that. First time I got to know her long ago. So since then we have been very good friends, and she even knows my family and my wife, and so it's like coming back to another part of Malaysia. So I really enjoyed yesterday. Thank you, Dr. Anan and Dr. Didik and Prof. Who brought me to my restaurant for my favorite food, which is gudeg. Okay, I love gudeg. So yesterday I had gudeg. This morning in the hotel they also served gudeg, so I also tried their gudeg. So I know it's a very cheap food. It's not a very expensive food. It's traditional, but I love that. I love that. Okay, I'm an Indian, a Malaysian, but an Indian. So even the Indian cooking, we have this jackfruit. We do cook. Okay, all right. So today's theme will be character education. So I don't want to make it very formal because I have only about 30 minutes. So whatever I need to say, if I need to say a few things in Bahasa Indonesia, I will also say. Okay, so I would like to say certain things first before I start about the title. For me, what is the use of having a very high level qualification, but your character is not to my expectation? So character is very important. Okay, so apa guna berpendidikan tinggi ya kalau karakter dia tidak memadai. Okay, paham bahasa Indonesia? Little bit of bahasa Indonesia yang saya tahu ya. Little bit ya. Alright, so there's no point. So whatever I'm going to share will be more on my experience. Because if you go for definition, you can get it from AI. Nowadays with AI, like what our chairperson said just now, anyone can get anything that you want using artificial intelligence. You go to ChatGPT, you get everything. So when the universities invite a speaker, better invite a speaker who has experience, so that what AI or ChatGPT gives you, we can complement that with our experience. So speakers must have enough experience to compete with what AI gives. AI gives you the factual thing that it has in the memory, but I give you the real thing that I experienced in my teaching. Do you understand? Are you with me? Okay, all right. So about the title, so character education is in Malaysia, in my country also, we emphasize that. But most of the teachers, all of you are going to become teachers maybe, most of the teachers, when we assess them, we are also given to analyze and give you marks for your character. But we are least bothered. I'm very sad to say, me as a lecturer also, there's a column in the evaluation form, they ask me to evaluate the students' characters. But I do not have enough time to actually analyze your characters. So usually I just give an average. I know this face, okay, Anand, okay, I know he's a good boy, okay. I know Didik, okay, he's an average boy, so I give him 4. So I know this boy is a naughty boy, I give 3. So I don't actually really do that character study. So character education, whether you become a good teacher or not so good teacher, it all depends on how you are groomed. Okay, so you should be, the teacher thing must be in you. Otherwise, don't become a teacher. After 36 years of teaching, I'm telling you, if you think you are not fit to become a teacher, you don't do injustice to your profession. Don't teach. So character education is very important because you must have the teacher in you to become a teacher. Next slide, please. All right, so today I'm going to talk about a little bit on holistic approach beyond academics, the core values, responsibility and citizenship, life success, global significance, and community building. All right, next. Okay, importance of character education in personal and societal development. Okay, we can divide the character education into personal development and also for the society. So when you have character education, character studies, it is going to be beneficial to you and finally to the country, the society. In Malaysia, for example, I have to quote my country because I do not know what is happening here. But in my country, we have seen lawyers being corrupted, lawyers taking customers' money and running away with the money. We have politicians who have done bad things. We are highly educated people who have done bad things because of this character education is not within with themselves. Okay, so one country that I see, I've traveled to more than 20 countries, but one country that I see a very high level of character education is in Singapore. I was there 2 weeks ago. I see the Singaporeans, the way they embed their character studies, character education needs in the education system is extremely good. In my university, when they asked for character in my report, I said all the character education has been embedded in the classroom. But I don't think sincerely I did that. Because character education is something that is very abstract. It cannot be directly. I cannot tell you, okay, you must stand up when the teacher comes in. No, it should be within you. It should come within you. Okay, so and if you are good, you are going to help the society. Your good character is going to help the society. So if all of them are going to become teachers. Okay, I'm very sure all the audience, online and offline, all of you are future teachers. So, and okay, from maybe you're going to be ELT teachers or literature. I'm not very sure. I do not have the breakdown. But the core thing in your teaching is sincerity. Sincerity. So if you are going to become a teacher, if you are not sincere, it's not going to be helpful. Okay. After being 35 years in teaching, my university produces teachers for the whole country. 70% of the teachers in my country belong to me. I develop them. The English teachers especially, English and literature. So if your character, some teachers I've seen them very successful. Some teachers are not. Some teachers left halfway because of the character problem. Okay, so I hope after my talk here in this seminar, if you become an excellent teacher, I will be very happy. For your information, to the professors here also, I was a teacher for 20 years before I became a lecturer. So 20 years of teaching in schools is something that I really cherish, very important for me. So only after 20 years I became a lecturer after my PhD. So I have 20 years of teaching in schools and 15 years of lecturing in universities. So all in 35 years. So when I go to schools to see my students teaching, before I pass them to become a good teacher, character education is very important. When I go to the schools to observe them, all my teachers in the universities, before they graduate, they must do 6 months of internship in the schools. And the lecturers will observe them twice. And during my observation, not only I see the content of their lesson, but I also check on their characters. But if I know the characters is not good, even if your content of your lesson plan is extremely good, but your character is not good, I won't give you an A, because your character as a teacher is not to my expectation. If you are not giving me a good character as an educator, how are you going to impart your knowledge to your students? How are you going to impart your character development to others? So it's very important. Very important. Okay, do not underestimate character education, because it is part and parcel of your teaching. In the evaluation form, we have 10% for teachers' professionalism and character. So if I see the teacher's attitude is not to my expectation, that column out of 10, I will only give 2 or 3. Because you are a trainee teacher and your character is not up to my expectation. So sometimes I see the teachers, the trainee teachers will try to please me by, like, if they know I'm going to come to observe, they will buy me drinks, they will prepare the drinks, some will buy me hot and coffee, prepare a nice table for me, and that won't impress me. What is going to impress me is your character. Okay, next please. I really have to run very fast because I think I prepared so many slides, but we have limited time, and I will give you some time for Q&A session. If you have any question, you can ask me later. When we talk about personal development in terms of character education, what are we talking about? Ethical foundation, moral compass, self-reflection, emotional intelligence, resilience. Resilience is very important. Last month I was in Bali, in Udayana University, and I also spoke about teachers being resilient. You must know how to bounce back even if you fall. If my advice to the youngsters, if you think you are not qualified to become a teacher, don't waste your time, because you are going to spoil the future of your students. So if you do not want to teach, just leave. Don't do. You will be doing a great injustice to your profession if you do not have that character that a teacher should have. In my university, all teachers that come to the university must be with a necktie. We force them to wear a necktie, properly dressed, and many students try not to come to my university because of the dress code. We have very strict dress code because we want to build their characters as teachers. And 13,000 to 14,000 will come for interview, and out of that we are going to choose only 3,000. Applicants more than 50,000 will apply to enter my university who wants to become teachers. Out of that, 10 to 12,000 we call for interview all over the country, and out of that only about 1 to 2,000 we will choose them so that they become, we have many levels of filtration in terms of characters. In the interview question that we ask, there is also a column to check on your characters. If we find that your character, you have paper qualification, you have everything, but your character is not to our expectation, my university will reject your application. Okay, next one. Okay, this is for society. What is going to be good for the society? Social cohesion, conflict resolution, civic engagement, reduction in crime. Yeah, this is also very important. I don't want to see one day teachers and highly educated people end up in jail because of their criminal record. Positive role models. I've already said that you have to be a good role model for your students to build your students' character, enhanced workforce, and long-term well-being. Next. This is for society. Yeah? Okay. These are the notable works of popular scholars like Thomas, and then we have many other people, Marvin, and so on. I'm not going to read everything here because it's going to take up a lot of time. Can we skip the notable works, the committee there? All right. In terms of global perspective, not only in Indonesia, in almost all the countries that we produce teachers, we can see they have education, part of their education system. They have, like Japan, they have moral education. In Malaysia, we have two, because in the school system, we have Muslims and non-Muslims. So the Muslims will take all these religious classes, and the non-Muslims will go for the moral education during the school system. Because non-Muslims, we cannot ask them to take up Muslim papers, Islamic papers, so we ask them to take moral education. So we have teachers who major, the degree will be in moral. So when they are posted to schools, they teach moral education to the non-Muslims. The Muslims will sit for religious classes or Islamic papers. Okay, so in Singapore, we can see they got something like SEL, Social and Emotional Learning. And then in Canada, they have comprehensive school health as a program for character education. Next. These are some of the countries that we can see. Even in Nigeria, they have civic education. And I'm happy that Prof. Swase and the committee has decided to have this national seminar team with character education, because many people ignore character education in the school system. Okay, next. Okay, these are the essential character traits in character education. When we talk about character education, what are we talking? We are talking about integrity, we are talking about responsibility, we are talking about empathy, we are talking about resilience. I will share the slides with your, maybe with Dr. Hanan later. He will share it with you, because I'm not going to read everything because of time constraint. Okay, so I'm just reading only the important part of it. Okay, so your lecturers will share. You don't have to write or copy anything, as they will share it with you later. Okay, so but when we talk about character education, make sure integrity is part of the subject, responsibility, empathy, resilience. Next. No, go back to the previous one. Okay, next. Okay, fostering ethical and moral values. When we talk about moral values, value-based learning, real-life application, All these you can get online. But what I am trying to tell with my experience here is, if you want your student to become a good teacher with good characters in education, you must be a role model. The teachers must be a role model. If you don't have that items that I mentioned just now, no point, because your students are not going to become not going to develop a good character when they become, and they won't be able to become good students. So set as a good role model for your students to follow you. Okay, no point you tell your students in the school not to smoke, but as you leave the school gate, you smoke. Okay, so these are the real life examples. When I was a teacher, because we have very limited teachers, male teachers in the school, for 20 years as a teacher in the schools, I was always appointed as a discipline teacher, because all other teachers are ladies, very few male teachers. So every school that I go, they always give me this post, discipline teacher, chief discipline teacher. So it's very difficult life I went through as a discipline teacher, because students in the schools nowadays are not like what we see those days. Students are willing to challenge the teachers. You can see teachers and students fighting in some schools in Malaysia. Fighting, manually they are fighting, strangling each other. I have to go and separate them. And you see the number of cases in bully cases. A lot of cases. And you also see, I know, of course, in Islam, committing suicide is something that you should not do. But if you come to some countries, students commit suicide because of these character issues. Some students bully them. Okay, so all these are my real life experience that I'm sharing. I went through. Next, please. All right, core values in character education. Again, I've already said about this: honesty, respect, responsibility, fairness. Being fair as a teacher is very important. If your students are seeing you as someone who is not being fair, then you are developing future students, future people in the society who are going to be very biased. So show them how to be fair to everyone. You must know how to be caring, empathy. Then you must show as a good citizen integrity, courage, and perseverance. Okay, next. Okay, these are the benefits of character education. If you are actually practicing character education in your school or in the university, you can see improved behavior, you can see increased empathy, you can see conflict resolution. I just quickly share, because of increased empathy. I just share one small story that happened in my classroom in the university. I got to know one boy who has been very naughty and always sleeps in my class. And when I called him in front to tell me actually what is actually happening, then I realized he is being naughty and his character is in the drain. Is because he is from a single parent family. Parents were separated, and because he was very angry with the father, he wanted to project his anger in the classroom with his friends and with me. He doesn't like me because he says that his father looks like me. For that, he shows his anger towards me. So I have to sit and do counseling with him, to improve his character. I said, not all men are like this. Not all men are like your father. There are many responsible fathers. Look at me, I told him. I have 4 children, and all my 4 children love me so much. And I also told him that after 30 years of marriage, I'm still with my same wife. Okay? So this is how I give them the confidence. So not everyone is like this. Then he understood. Then after that, he became my good friend. So I sort of adopted him. Every morning he comes to see me. I say, okay, you have money. I even gave my own money to him, because he's always without money, because the father is not giving any money to him because they are separated. So this character development has to be very personalized. Sometimes if you become a teacher in the classroom, make sure if you notice these kind of students, you take note, because the character is actually what you don't see. Why is the character like this? Is because there's big story behind such characters. Some you can change, some you cannot change. Okay, but try your best. Give it a try and try your best to change students' character in the classroom, or for the lecturers in the university classroom. You have to play an important role by looking at the students' personal or family issues and try to solve the personal issues. Okay, but when I brought this in a meeting in my faculty in the university, some lecturers told me students' character and students' family issues should not be our issue. She said that it's not the lecturers' issues. Okay, if they have family problem, that is theirs. But I told them there are 1 or 2 cases that we have to look into personally, because I'm afraid the student might even go into depression and might even try to commit suicide. There was one student in my school. This is a long story. To make it short, in 2010 or 11, I'm not very sure, there was one student next to my office, went to the top floor, and then from there she just jumped from there and she died. And then I was one of the first lecturers to be there, so I had so much of phobia. When I checked the phone messages, she was talking to her mother. She told her mother, saya rasa kesunyian. Then the mother replied, kalau sunyi, carilah kawan. Then she said, tiada orang yang mau kawan dengan Dibah. I think her short name is Dibah or something, she said. And then before the mother could answer, she went to the top floor and she just jumped from the 4th floor. And later, when the university investigated, we found out that she was also bullied. So these are the characters that, if you don't do this kind of character study, you won't be able to help your students. So please look into it personally. All right, girl, can we go to the next one? I'm trying to speed up my presentation so that then, okay, benefits of character education, academic success. If you are into character education from someone who is in the failed cases, you can bring them to someone who is actually the academic outcome you can improve. You can also reduce the negativity in the students, which leads to less bullying, cheating, and substance abuse. I just spoke about this. Character education also helps in personal growth and makes you a responsible citizen. Okay, next. These are other benefits: enhanced social skills, future preparedness, positive role models, and stronger communities. Next. I skip this one I've already mentioned. Okay, curriculum integration in character education. Okay, scenario-based learning. So to integrate character education in the classroom, you must have scenario-based learning. Present ethical dilemmas for discussion. For the teachers and the lecturers who are here, this is how I personally include character education. I integrate in my teaching. Okay, I identify the core values, and then curriculum alignment. In the curriculum also, when we do curriculum alignment, we also involve character study as part of the curriculum system. Okay, interdisciplinary approach, integrate ethics into various subjects. That's why this happened last week when I was observing my student teaching. I was giving her marks. That's the final marks. Whether I fail or pass, whether she's going to fail or pass depends on what marks I give. Okay, so interdisciplinary approach is, we call it cross-curricular element. That means you are teaching English, You might ask me, I'm teaching English, I'm teaching literature, how am I going to include character education? You should do this. Interdisciplinary approach is you include that in your studies, in your curriculum. Okay, we call it, in my university, we call it cross-curricular elements. That means we bring in moral into the teaching of science. We bring in moral into teaching of English as a second language. In Malaysia, English is taught as a second language. In Indonesia, of course, it is taught as a foreign language, but in Malaysia, it is English as a second language. Okay, so I always tell them, try to bring moral into your language teaching. Okay, in order to help with character education. Next. Okay, use curriculum materials. Talking about curriculum materials, I also noticed this happened last week also when the teacher was teaching. She is a female, of course she's a female. So all the materials she was using for her teaching is very gender biased. She's talking about dolls and purse and pink color. She said, how are the boys going to listen to that? Don't you think it's gender bias? Just because you are a female, you cannot assume that what material you are using is going to be suitable for males. So try not to use, even when the male teachers are teaching, I told them not to use football players. Okay, because not everyone, the girls in the classroom, are going to like this. So when you build character among your students, make sure you are also not gender biased. So when you want to include materials in your teaching, make sure it also develops their character. Okay, experiential learning, apply values in community services, guest speakers, reflective activities. Next. Okay, curriculum integration in character education can also be involved in assessment. When you use assessment, also make sure the character education is involved. Teachable moments, teacher support. Maybe you can provide ongoing training and modeling for character education. Community collaboration, partner with parents and the community in order to improve your character education. Next. The role of educators, I've already told you. Number one just now, modeling values. If you want to build good students with good characters, you must be the role model. Okay? You might be asking me whether I have been a good role model. For your example, that one example I want to give you, because I am in Indonesia, I didn't bring any Indonesian batik. So yesterday, Dr. Anan and Dr. Didik brought me to the Indonesian batik shop, and I bought this yesterday, so that I be part of you. That is also character, right? Yeah. And harganya bukan murah ya, 2 juta. 2 juta, I'm not joking. It's 2 juta. I brought a batik, but there's a Malaysian batik. So when I spoke to my wife, she said yesterday, you are in Indonesia, what are you doing with the Malaysian batik? You better buy an Indonesian batik. So I bought this. But I think last time Prof. Swase also gave me a batik, but I didn't bring that to Indonesia. Okay, because I put on weight and I couldn't wear that. She gave me a smaller size. That time I was a bit small. Now I put on weight. So yesterday I had to buy this. This is also character education. Yeah. So I'm here with you, and therefore I should be in Indonesian batik. So I don't mind spending 2 juta yesterday just to buy a proper Indonesian, so that I can assimilate and be part of you. Okay. Next one, please. The role educators, skip this please, all this we have already spoken. Next one, the role of all these role of educators. I don't want to follow the slide. This slide was actually prepared by my PhD student, under my supervision. So I'm just going to use this and share my personal experience with you. Okay, so the role of educators are extremely important for you to develop a good character in education. Okay, next. These are the challenges when you want to integrate character education. These are the challenges because of diverse values. In Malaysia, in the classroom, we have people who are Muslims, who are Hindus, who are Christians, who are Buddhists. So we are multicultural country. So sometimes we want to integrate one character which might not be suitable for another religion. So we also have to be very careful with that. Okay, so these are the challenges. Sometimes we also have resource constraints. You might not have the resources that you are looking for when you want to teach character education. Next. Teacher training. Sometimes the teacher training, in your training, I do not know in this university how much of character education they integrate in your education and they also teach you. But basically, there must be one part of your evaluation or curriculum which give importance to character education. Okay, assessment challenges next. I've already spoken to you cultural sensitivity. In Malaysia, for example, when you are teaching in the classroom, when you are teaching about character, you must be extremely careful with issues related to religion. The day you say something against one religion, the next day you will be called by the ministry. As a teacher, you have to answer them, why did you say this? You are not supposed to say something against the religion that you do not know. So if I'm being a Hindu, if my students are Muslims, so I must be very careful. So I know the examples that I use, I should not use like khinzir, for example. Khinzir is pork, is Indonesian word. Yeah, you understand, khinzir? Babi, yeah. You shouldn't scold the student. Bodoh babi, you say. If the student complain to the higher authority, you will be called because it's very sensitive. And you shouldn't call a Hindu student and try to teach him about Islamic values. Also another religious issue. It will come out in the newspaper, the next day. The newspapers and news portals will sensationalize this. Because of the medium we have now, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you'll be everywhere. So nowadays, you cannot do any mistakes. Even on the road, if you are driving, you are making mistakes. People will capture and put it in TikTok, and they will they tag it with the policeman, and the next day the police will call you. So be careful, nowadays. So cultural sensitivity is very important. Parent involvement is very important. These are the challenges and solutions. Sustainability, how long you can maintaining a long-term commitment to character education is also another headache, because teachers come, teachers go, students come, students go, they change. There's no sustainability. Next one, please. Assessment, I've already mentioned about this. Again, next. Okay. Resources and tools. Rather than getting all this information from the books and so on, you must call experienced people like us to give you a talk on character education so that we can share our experience. The books that you can refer to, I will share the slides with your lecturers. You can refer to later. Most probably your libraries might have this. Skip this. Next. These are the websites. Next. These are the tools, the framework that you have. If you want to do any study on this, those who are doing masters, your final year project is a research, so you can use any of these tools that I've given to do a research on character studies. Okay, next. These are some of the success stories of character studies. I know all of you know about Malala. Have you heard about Malala? If you do not know about Malala, then it's very difficult to become a teacher after this. She has written a very popular book. She's from Pakistan, who has written a book about girls' education. You remember the girl who was shot, and then she went to Canada, and now she's a very popular person. Canadian government has given her citizenship. Malala Yousafzai. See, these are the success stories of because of character education. And then we have many other people. Next. Mahatma Gandhi is someone that I follow, who is very values the characters of a human. Another one we have Nelson Mandela, who has spent about 27 years in prison, and after that he can still come back and become the president. In Malaysia also same. The former Prime Minister, I don't know is this recorded or not, the former Prime Minister is in prison now, and the other Prime Minister who was in prison is the Prime Minister now. So it's just swapping. Anwar Ibrahim and Dato Sri Najib and Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim. One was in prison and one was ruling. Now the ruler is in prison, and the one who was in prison is the ruler of the country. So all this is because of failed character studies. I would say, if this is recorded, I don't think they might come after me. All right, but this is educational. I'm just giving you example how characters can change the whole world. All right, next. All right, future trends. What are we expected in the future? We can see social and emotional learning, SEL. This is practiced in Singapore. Service learning and civic engagement. These are future trends for character education. Ethical technology use. Okay, I would like to stress this about ethical technology use. All of you are into TikTok and all other social media. Do not misuse that. Use that because you see, you want to get more likes, you sensationalize the news. I am being a professor. Sometimes I post something about English language teaching, I get only about 100 likes. But my son, who does all this sensational news, he get 20,000 likes. My son is about maybe your age. You see the difference? People are not bothered about character education. They are more into they like to sensationalize news just to get more likes. So I hope you don't do that. Okay? Next, please. All right. I think I've very quickly managed to do it within 20 to 25 minutes. Now I'm willing to take some questions because I have to give way for Prof. Swase to present. Can I have some questions, whether from here or from the...
Okay, from the
I leave it to Lakshmi. Yeah,
okay.
Lakshmi. Never forget this name.
Would you like to take the questions right now?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So thank you very much, Prof, for sharing such interesting ideas in character education. So I think I would like to invite questions first from the Senate room. Okay, one to Nani, and here, okay, dari front row dulu ya. Okay, later on please mention the name and the study program where you're from.
Hello everyone. My name is Yunus Faivet, and
again, what's your name again?
Yunus.
Yunus. Yeah.
But with G.
Oh.
I'm educational, English educational. I have a question for you, sir. So you say you are a teacher back then. So when we become a teacher, we will face a lot of students with a different characteristic. So how you develop their educational characteristic with all the different characteristic in that school? What you gonna do with that?
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Yunus. Yeah, you can sit down, please.
Thank you, sir.
I like your hairstyle. Yeah. If you want to become a role model in your classroom, actually you must also show good hairstyle so that your students also will follow. Okay, that's just a joke. So, but anyhow, you are my son's age. So if I were to see my son, I will also say the same thing. Okay, make sure you have a better better hairstyle. All right. So I know in a classroom we have, as I said in my speech just now, we have multicultural, multi-ethnic, and so on in the classroom. We cannot use like one policy fits for all, one shoe size fits for all is definitely no. So that's why I say there must be personalized attention given to students. If you see different students with different characters, if you want to develop their characters, so you are going to the class again and again, so on a different day take a different student to guide him, to give him your piece of advice on a different day. You cannot give one policy that fits everyone. Okay, in a general class it's okay, but if you have students from multiracial, multi-ethnic in your class and you think they need your attention, you can even do it after the classroom teaching. You can, one by one. The general policy you can give to everyone, but if you think that person to build his character, you need some personalized attention, please call him and do your counseling or give your advice after the classroom. That's why I say you want to do that, you have to be an extra working teacher. You cannot be a normal teacher. A good teacher is a teacher who pays more attention even after the classroom. For your information, students who are here, I started as a primary school teacher with only a diploma, but I was sincere in my teaching. Today I became a professor because I think God rewarded me for what I have done. I don't do things because I want people to see me. No, I do because I feel I want to do. Teaching is like that. There are so many teachers around the world, you know. If you want to be success, just do your job. God will definitely reward you. Okay, just do your job. Don't care about others. Okay? Did I answer your question, Yusuf? So you have to individualize your advice to your students or your counseling with the students. I saw another person putting up the hand. Yeah.
Good morning, all of participants. My name is Agus Arifuddin. I'm student English education. Okay, we know that in this era industrial revolution 4.0, technology and social media are growing rapidly among students, and it is undeniable that it can affect students, student character. My question, how can education or educators integrate technology and social media to support student character development? Thank you.
Exactly, a very good question. I would say give him a clap because he asked a question on how to integrate social media into teaching to develop characters. Okay, because the teacher who is teaching can make use of social media in the teaching classroom, but whether it's going to be positive or negative, it depends on what kind of social media you're using. For example, if you use TikTok, there are many TikToks posting, people are criticizing another person, criticizing the politician because they use fake ID, so they think they are so safe. So you should avoid all those things and limit your context and your content of your social media. I would rather say social media has great influence on Y and Z generation like you, because when you see people who are so rich driving a big car or big motorcycle, you also want to do that. Because you want to do that, sometimes you end up stealing money from your own parents. This has happened, I'm not joking. As I said earlier, I'm giving you my personal experience, which you cannot get from the books. There are students who are willing even to kill the parents to get the money. There are students being charged in the court in some countries, kill their own parents because they want the money. Why? Because they see social media, they are students of the same age, driving a big car, riding a good motorcycle, traveling overseas and all these things. So for these students, I think the teachers play a very important role. Tell them life is not all about money and luxury. One day you will realize that you will realize that simplicity in life is the best life that you can experience. At one time when I was young like you, I wish I could fly because I've never taken aeroplane. Those days aeroplane, you want to fly, it's very expensive, you know. Not everyone, only the rich can fly. Now you see, I've come to a stage where I'm flying non-stop. I was in India, I was in, what do you call this, I don't even remember the country that I went. Before that, Kathmandu, I went to Kathmandu, then I came here, Indonesia, then after this I'm going Maldives, also to speak about ELT, English Language Teaching. See, if you are doing good things, good character, things will come to you. You just dream. You don't at this age try to get what you see on social media. Most of it are all fake. There are so many, the guys will like all the pretty girls in TikTok, but without the filter, they look horrible. Also take note, all of them using filter so that they look like actress. But try to see them without the filters. Okay, I'm not condemning, but I'm just telling. Even my own face when I see in TikTok, hey, why do I look so handsome? But actually using filter. So other people who see might like it. Oh, I must also look like Prof. Mahindran. But your time will come, success will come to you. Don't rush into it. Work on it slowly and take only the positive part of social media. Ignore the negative. Ignore the negative. Yusuf, what's your name? Yusuf, Agus. Agus, maybe if you want to use TikTok and Facebook and Instagram in your teaching, please use, but for the benefit of the students. If you Google my name, you can see the highest number of articles that was cited is an article on the use of Facebook to teach writing. You see, that's my research. I think more than 60 or 70 people cited my article. I used Facebook to teach my students on how to write articles, not to see all the beautiful things there. Okay, as teachers, you can use them for the benefit of your students, for character, education, and development of the students. Okay, I can take one more question, last one. From who? Yeah, okay. One more. Madam, you have one? Okay, Prof. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Mahindran, for your excellent speech. You have given us a lot of characters, yeah. But I don't know whether I missed one of your characters. It's about, because this is very important in our country.
I will be
obey the Almighty God and able to exemplify religious attitude. I don't see, I don't see, or maybe I missed, I don't know. I don't see it in your list of characters.
I spoke about moral, the teaching of moral studies, to include moral studies in teaching.
Yeah, but in our country, the name of Allah is very important. The worshipping Allah is one of the characters that the students have to carry. Do you?
Yes, I think I mentioned that those who are Muslims will follow the religious Islamic studies, and the non-Muslims will take the moral studies. I mentioned that. So is very important. I said, even to all the teachers, I said, you might not realize that whatever good things you are doing as a teacher, God is watching. Again and again I said, God is watching. So you will be handsomely rewarded if you do it without any expectation, like what I did. From a primary school teacher, today I'm an international speaker because I think God rewarded me. I didn't ask for all these things. I didn't ask. I've been identified and I've been noticed by people, and they call me all over the world just to share my knowledge. I don't call this as I'm an expert. No, it's just sharing of my knowledge. Because I've produced more than 24 PhD students. You can imagine the experience I went through in producing 24 PhD students, 12 in my university and 12 in another university where I am a visiting professor in India. Okay, so it will come to you. Be sincere to yourself and believe in your God, in whatever religion you are. It can be Islam, you can be a Muslim, you can be a Christian, you can be a Hindu like me. Okay? Don't talk about sensitivity of another religion. You are safe. That's very important. Respect. Even being a Hindu, if I see a Muslim saying something, any values there that is in harmony with my values, I take. In Malaysia, when I see the Muslims, when they pass by me, the young girls, the way they bend down and they walk past me, I love that culture. I always tell my children, you have to have this culture in you. The respect that you have for elderly people. You know, the way you bend down and you walk past them with so much of respect. That one value I like so much in Islamic teaching that I follow. And I tell my children also to do that. And there are many, of course, my personal things, but I cannot share everything here. But it's very important. In character education, your belief in your religious system is extremely important. One last one, someone? Zoom. How? Okay, all right. Okay, one or two, Prof. Swase say, okay, I have time for one or two.
Okay, so now we would like to address questions sent via Q&A in the Zoom. Yeah. Scholastica itu, are you still in the Zoom, Ani? Would you like to ask the questions directly to the speaker? Or should I read the questions? Okay, so what steps does an educator take in building the character of students who do not understand Indonesian so they can be said to be effective educators?
Repeat the question, it's a bit...
What steps does an educator take in building the character of students who do not understand Indonesian so they can be said to be effective educators?
They do not understand the Indonesian?
Yes, she asked that. Do not understand Indonesian?
What do you mean by
Scholastica, are you still in the Zoom?
Yeah,
I think so.
That means they don't understand Indonesia.
Yeah, probably.
Bahasa Indonesia.
Students,
Oh.
yes,
Yeah, I assume that the question is asked because what steps can be taken to develop character education if you do not know Indonesia, Bahasa Indonesia, I think, probably. Maybe they are using a different language, maybe Jawa or something like that. All right? Yeah. In that case, I think that the teacher has to play a very important role in making an extra effort to do the counseling in the language that the student knows, or get another person to come and do the counseling for the student who knows only maybe Bahasa Jawa maybe. So you have to find a person. This job of character development, character education is not only with you, you have to work as a team. If you think you cannot, you ask an expert to do it for you. Okay, so I think it's a very simple question. If you can ask your colleagues who knows the language that the student understands, it's okay.
Thank you very much, Prof.
Yeah.
Done or one more? Okay, so let's proceed to Bu Warsi presentation.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, fellow teachers and fellow students, we still have another esteemed keynote speakers. Okay, so the second speakers is Professor Dr. Anda Suwarsih Madya, MA PhD. She's from Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. Let me cheat her resume. All right, so she teaches in our graduate program of English education, and she graduated from the undergraduate department of English language and literature of IKIP Yogyakarta in 1977, and her master and doctorate programs were pursued in 1981 through 1988 in Macquarie University, Sydney. She has held some government positions such as serving as Atase Pendidikan dan Kebudayaan KBRI Bangkok, Asisten Direktur Bidang Keuangan dan Kepegawaian Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta, Kepala Biro Kerjasama Luar Negeri dan Humas Depdiknas RI, dan juga Kepala Dinas Dikpora DIY dalam kurun waktu 2008 and 2010. And then her publication, she also has quite extensive lists of publication, guys. So if you need more information about her, just type her name in Google and then you will be provided with lots of information about her. Okay. Right, so Prof. Warsi publications, among others, written corrective feedback, students' perception and preferences, and then the use of guessing game in improving the speaking skills of elementary school students, blended learning model, PLM, in English pronunciation class, lesson from Indonesia, genre-based teaching cycle and instructional design for teaching text and mandated curriculum contents, exploring students' diversity in differentiated classroom, eclectic approach, a search for more effective assessment ways to meet EFL assessment principles, employing multimodal dialogic feedback on EFL tertiary students, writing formative assessment framework, and the list is just getting longer and longer. Okay, right, so without further ado, Professor Warsi, time is yours to share your insightful ideas on character education. Time is yours for more or less 40 minutes, so you have your time.
Thank you, Bu Laksmi. Forgive me if I wrongly pronounce your name, but it's Laksmi, is that? Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I feel lucky to have this opportunity to speak together here with Professor Mahendran, who I first knew about more than 10 years ago, when he was still young. I was still young too. So my photo there in the leaflet, I think is too young for me. But it's still in the website, yeah. So if you Googling type my name, you can also find many pictures. Anyway, thank you very much. So my Dr. Mahendran has talked about more general concepts of character education, and now I will go down to earth to relate or to integrate the values instillment in English language teaching. So I think it's a good combination, Dr. Mahendran. You have the basic concepts, and I try to implement that. So my title is Exploring Possible Contributions of English Language Education to Character Education. Okay. Hopefully it will be useful for you. If Dr. Mahendran is humorous, probably I'm not that good in having humorous there. So this is the outline, rationale, why does character matter, crucial concepts of character education, ELT, then exploring possible contribution of ELT there, and conclusions, okay? So I think, so I have to, okay. It's very famous, right? You have heard from, not only from me, yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh my God. Why? If you lose your wealth, you see that? You have lost nothing. If you lose your health, you have lost something. But if you lose your character, you have lost everything. Okay? So, you know, this shows that this is by Woodrow Wilson, US President, long ago, right? So character has been important since long ago, not only now, right? Then another, just a moment. Oh my God, why it doesn't work? Yeah, okay. When wealth is lost, nothing is lost. It's the same, but this is by Graham. When health is lost, something is lost. When character is lost, all is lost. I think Dr. Mahindran is emphasize that. Then great learning and superior abilities will be of little value until truth and integrity are added to them. You agree with that, right? You emphasize that too. Then I think it's also important here. Now we are living in a democracy, right? So we enjoy freedom, but only a virtuous people are capable of freedom. Okay? If you have no virtues, you have no character, you will, you know, do something harm to other people, like what is, you call it, sending hoax to influence other people. So, you know, freedom can be enjoyed by virtuous people. I think I don't want you to disagree with all of these statements. We are all teachers here, so we can see from the quotes here that character is very important. Sorry. And in our country, it's stated very explicitly here, character is one of the main goals of education. So education has two goals, great goals, to help students become smart, this intelligent here, and to help become good person. Then Ki Hajatiwantara said, of course it's in Japanese here, but I'll translate it into English. Education is not just about imparting academic knowledge, but also involves developing an individual personality and character. Okay, so I think it's Dr. Mahindran has told us about the concepts of big concepts around the world, but now our father of education also believes in that, and this university is well attached with this figure, right? So we have to really have a stronger belief that character is very important. Forgive me for my then education is practiced through informal, non-formal and formal tracks. So this is the place of education, character education later on. And this is stated in law number 20, 2003. And the last I want to say, the formal education is realized through implementing the curriculum as part of, and part of which is English language education. So I tried to put that. This means that English language education is to contribute to the development of educational functions goals. That is, the function is goal. The function is to develop characters. Yeah, you can check in the Article 3 of our law. Now, Mike, the question is, why are character education issues re-emerging in Indonesia? Now, during Sukarno, we have character building, right? And then during Suharto, I think that's thinking becoming economic building at that time. So it's you are still too young at that time, right? But it's, you know, switched into that from character building into economic building, and then character re-emerging because phenomena of social ills like confusing life practices. Dr. Mahindran has mentioned some examples in Malaysia and other countries. Ignorance, hopelessness, lack of ethos, lack of perseverance, so that the children kill the parents, no perseverance at all. Social individual conflicts, moral degradation, weakening identity and drug abuse. This is some example. Phenomena in running the country. You can see news in the newspapers or in the TV now there are so many TV, right? Power abuses, at the level, national level, regional level, local level, you can see that. dishonesty, injustice, distrust, harming media. And I think Dr. Mahindran has warned us that, in fact, if we use the social media, we have to guide the students so that they will use the media beneficially and not just for their own dislike. And weakening nationalism or patriotism. These are some of the issues why character education is emerging in Indonesia. Oh my God, I'm not good at technology, you know. But in America, it was also observed like this one. The intentional teaching of good character is particularly important in today's society, since our youth face many opportunities and dangers unknown to earlier generations. They are bombarded with many more negative influences through the media and other external sources prevalent in today's culture. At the same time, there are many more day-to-day pressures impinging on the time that parents and children have together. Studies now show that children spend only 38.5 minutes a week. It means 33.4 hours a year in meaningful conversation with their parents, while they spend 1,500 hours watching TV. I don't know, we can ask ourselves how much time we use for learning and how much time just for enjoyment, right? So this is observation in America. I just gave an example that in fact character education needs more attention for us all. So serious attention must be given to character education by all parties concerned. Okay, that's then challenges faced by the education community in ICT era. I think we are familiar with 3 centers of education by Ki Hajar, right? The school, the family, and the community, right? But now we have mass media. How can we control the mass media? Very little, right? We also have virtual world. And these are the, the challenges in these 5 situations. So it's not easy. In my generation, I think we had very limited social media. We don't have that. And so I have grown up in a situation very different from now. So I'm a bit tech here in technology. Then you are much better than me. But I experienced a traditional, situation in which I learned a lot about character in different places, from teachers, from neighbors, etc., very strong. So today's children, just a moment, what should I do? What should I do? This one. Huh. No. Children need to learn to make a good decision, okay? Learning to make a decision which is conceptually right and contextually appropriate. Now, I think Ki Hajar said, do something, think about it before you do something, okay? Is that here? A good decision in that. Then I like to draw your attention to the benefits of character education. Just very quick. It helps students to develop important human qualities such as justice, diligence, compassion, respect, and courage, and to understand why it is important to live with them. So the why they are important is in line with outcome-based education now, okay? So the critical thinking like that. So we have to know why it's something we have to do. Then promote character development through exploration of ethical issues across curriculum. That's why English is part of it, okay, across curriculum. Then develops a positive and moral climate by engaging the participant of students, teachers and staff, parents and communities. So all of these should be involved. If you forget parents, it will be very difficult for us to help our students. Then teaches how to solve conflicts fairly, creating safer schools that are freer of intimidation, fear and violence, and are more conducive to learning. Remember, now bullying is a very common phenomenon, right? So this is part of the thing which create the school is not safe for our children. I know this because my grandchildren have just experienced bullying. It's very sad. Oh, and made me headache, you know. Then not only cultivates minds, you know, our intellectuality, but also nurtures hearts. So we educate our hearts through character education. Help children understand the importance of virtues and create caring and safe school environment, which is critical for successful schools. So our like university here is very, you know, safe and very friendly, will help us in learning. Then also teaches children principles and how they become successful and productive citizens. That's through character education. Without proper values of caring, citizenry, society would crumble. This is the imperative for well-being of our society, that children be taught universal values. Dr. Mahindran has mentioned the six, the pillars of education, character education, right? That is these universal values. Then creates an integrated culture of character that supports and challenges students and adults to strive for excellence. This is excellent for science. So we have to build our culture in our university to strive for excellence. So everyone has to think about that. Create schools where children feel safe because they are in an atmosphere that values respect, responsibility, and compassion, not because of a guard or metal detector is posted at the door. So, you know, and I'm glad Pak Mahindra said that, you know, you are very sincere without hoping, but God has watched and given him many opportunities to go around the world. It's like me, Dr. Mahindra. I have visited 35 countries without planning when I was a child. So God has watched me. And so teaches adults and students to understand, engage in, care about, and act on core ethical values such as respect, justice, citizenship, fairness, and responsibility for self and others in school and as part of the larger community. I think these are all in line with Gyajar's teaching, yeah, and here. So this is my picture, which I try to illustrate that the core of our business is English language education, right? Then we have education development within that policy. We have the law, we have the Permendikbud, we have Permendiknas, whatever. We have national development. The national education development is part of national development. But we also have world development, right? The world development. Then the last one, Pak Mahindran, I got that. There's the internal happiness in the hereafter. Okay, that will be the intention of everyone. Whatever religion you have, you want to be happy eternally, right? So this is the context, the larger context, which will control our behavior. If you remember all the time that we have to be accounted for our action, including learning, you will be very more careful, right? So this is I always promote this, especially in Indonesia. It's very important, Pak Mahindran, because the first principle is believe in one God. So, you know, we have to promote that. Now, these are the continuous process of character education is through all of these contexts. Okay, so not only in the classroom, but outside and outside and outside, and the larger context is God watches us. Thank you, Pak Mahindra. I didn't expect you to say that, but it's really good to hear you saying that. Then this achieved through various activities of education as a whole. Okay, so we have to put our English teaching in a bigger context so that it will be more meaningful, because it's contribute to the development of characters, and part of this is contributing to the development of our country. Okay, so its subject is to contribute to the achievement of education function and goals, which is in turn to contribute to the achievement of national education goals, which is in turn to contribute to the achievement SDGs. You are familiar with SDGs, right? Sustainable Development Goals. This international, which might eventually lead to internal happiness. So this is my framework. So I have, have this framework is that. So the desired quality, the character qualities are, in the long process. It's not only one sitting. It's not only one, 4 years in Tamansiswa. No, it's the whole life. We are developing our characters everywhere. So, Pak Ki Hajar said, everywhere is school. We learn from everywhere, right? From anyone from that one year. Okay. So what is character? So I follow Likona, who has done a lot of research. That is, we can say that character is a distinguished mark. But Mahindran has his special character, which is different. He is educated in Malaysia, and I think he's very well, reversed in talking about Malaysia. But we have grown here in Indonesia. We are familiar with Pancasila, for example. We are distinguishing that. And if I can say that everyone has his own or her own unique character, or as a virtue, as the content of good character, thinking about character, can think about good characters and virtues. Characters, habits, positive values in action. So I can see Mahindran's discipline, for example, because I watch him and observe. He observes the discipline value. All character is one muscle, is the strengths of that. We also can think about the performance character, which is needed in our work, and moral character. Okay? So it's both are very important, or character versus personality. So I would like to, to take these two, performance character and moral character in English education. And this will be supported by ethical learning community. Otherwise, we will be left alone, educating our children, and we will suffer because of that, because we are not successful. Now, I think I would like to draw your attention to the 6 points, important points of performance and moral character. So it's impossible to have performance character without moral character, or vice versa. Okay, so we have two. The two one. A person of character embodies both performance character and moral character. Both carry obligation. Then whereas moral virtues are intrinsically good, performance virtues can be used for bad ends. Okay, so remember that. Then we have the fourth here. Both performance character and moral character have 3 psychological components: awareness, attitude, and action. So if we just tell you about these other values, you can mention all the values, right? This awareness. In Ki Hajar terms is knowing, ngerti, ngerti, knowing the goods. Not yet action, okay? Because of 3. In a person of character, performance character and moral character support each other in an integrated, in the interdependent way. So performance character and moral character can be operationally defined in terms of 8 strengths of character. I think it's very important, and later on we can see in our. So what is meant by performance character is those qualities needed to realize one's potentials for excellence. You want to have the first rank, for example. You want to be like Putri Aryani. There's the performance, exercising piano all the time, You want to improve your pronunciation, you train, yourself, and to have the drill and listen to the YouTube or whatever, okay? You want to improve writing, you have to practice writing and revise, etc. So to develop one's talent, work hard and achieve goals in school, work, and beyond. This is performance character. Moral character, those qualities needed to be ethical, to develop just and caring relationships, contribute to community, and assume the responsibilities of democratic citizenship. Okay, that is moral character. So about your relationship with others, not think about yourself but others. And Ki Hajar also taught us that the most what is you call it? paling berguna ya, is those who are, beneficial to other people. So we have to build an ethical learning community. We, including me in Sarjanawiyata and others, including staff, students, parents, etc., as a wider community, working together to model and develop performance characters and moral character. So, character is everyone's business, in fact. We cannot ignore. And again, Mahindran has said, and we cannot ignore. We have to be concerned with that. We have to give attention to that. Then that is this one here. Performance character and moral character, these are the strengths, okay? Let's ask ourselves which one is which individual, each of us. So here, the strength is, if we have the strength, we will be learning all the time, along our life, lifelong learner, and critical thinker. So that if we follow TikTok, for example, or whatever methods, we will be thinking, not just receiving information without any thinking. We have to judge whether it is true or not, whether it's logical or not. There is a critical thinker. We are sensitive about justice, then equality, okay? So number 2 is diligent and capable performer. If we are learning English, we are diligent in, say, for example, practicing our English and improving all the time. So capable means you have the knowledge and the skill, which is really good. Then number 3 is socially and emotionally skilled person, meaning that you are because we are in English education, we have educated ourselves to be socially and emotionally skilled person, right? Communicating with others. An ethical thinker. If you have read Gardner's book, we have a disciplined mind, you have respectful mind, you have creative mind, and ethical mind, and ethical mind is the last. Because ethical thinker is thinking about, the benefit for us all, not only for ourselves. Respectful and responsible moral agent. So we are practicing our morality. And again, Mahindran said, please avoid, for example, sensitive issues, so because it will, do harm. Self-disciplined person who pursues a healthy lifestyle. So please eat healthy food, for example. Be disciplined. Don't eat jeroan, for example. This is discipline, lifestyle. This character. Contributing community member and democratic citizen. So, we have to contribute. I think we have all social learning here, yeah. Pengabdian masyarakat juga, yeah. That is the same. And spiritual person engaged in crafting a life of noble purpose. And again, Pak Mahindran has said that, we do something not because of hoping something else, right? So a sincere person is important. And Jogja, Pak Mahindran, I'm happy to tell you that in Jogja, sincerity and humility are stressed. Emphasize, okay, emphasize. Humility, kesederhanaan, ya. Humility and sincerity. This is Jogja characters. So these are the moral characters and performance character. So, but these will be achieved if, for example, policies and rules and the hidden curriculum in our university, also in all the schools, support the formation of ethical learning community, okay? And of course, the teaching of various subjects, one of which is English. So English can contribute, the teaching of English can contribute to this and directly to this. This is the focus of that. And operationally, the Indonesian government has defined character as character is typical good values, knowing the good, having the will to do the good, acting the good or in real life, and having a good impact on the environment, which are mentally embedded in oneself and manifested in her or his behavior. So when we are good, other people can observe us, our actions, and they will say, oh, that's great. Okay. not being good when other people, you know, or you act different ways in public, but we have to be consistent whether someone is around us or not, we do something good. Then character is coherently and intentionally learned, formed through exercising one's or group's agency involving thinking, that is the mind, the heart, feelings, and exercise the body, as well as the feelings and intentions of a person or group of people. This is the policy, yeah, in our government. Then character is the characteristic of a person or group of people that contains values, abilities, moral capacity, and resilience. Again, Pak Mahendra has mentioned resilience. You have mentioned everything, you know. In facing difficulties and challenges, okay. So you know that this resilience is very important, daya tahan. So in Indonesia, character education has attracted the government's serious attention. That is, and the policy is here, you know, in the Rencana Induk Pembangunan Karakter Bangsa. Have you seen that? It's in the website. Please go and find this one. And this is the Merah Putih, okay. This our characters, the desired nation's character and Pancasila people with Pancasila values, and also individual citizens' character. These also have been formulated in that book. Okay, how many of you have seen the book? That book? Oh, no one. Okay, tomorrow, right? Or today you have to find that. So national policy on character education is this one here. At national level, we want to develop a nation that believes in one God, Almighty God, upholds just and civilized humanity, prioritizes national unity while ensuring diversity, and is democratic and upholds laws and human rights, and prioritizes justice and prosperity. That is macro strategy. But individual character is intentionally and coherently formed through exercising agency, and I have mentioned that involves thinking, feeling, and exercising the body here. That's micro strategy. So you know we have macro and micro, but it's just easier to say than said, okay? Easier to say than implemented, because we have corruption everywhere. But then here, I would like to ask all to really relate that character strengths support the achievement of this one, okay? The development of character strengths will support all of the achievement here. So if you notice, it will be related to that, okay? Then this macro strategy of the character education, I don't want to talk about this, but this is, you can, if you want to study, you can see this in that book. And my own understanding, systemic approach to character education means that character education should be by and for all, okay? By all people, for all people. Then should happen in education institutions, in families, in virtual world, in mass media, in community, and other institutions. This will be the success. But what happened is not always like that, right? So it's still here and there. Families, there are so many broken families, right? And the gap between the rich and the poor, and people will, you know, feel that I cannot do that while other people will do. And there are so many examples of. And the families who have character, role models, but not all parents are the role models. Then the virtual world screened through regulated technologies utilization, but it's not, you know, still not. The Undang-Undang ITE itu very, very freedom, right? Very free, too free. Then mass media should be stimulating curiosity. This should be, yeah? And educating broadcast publication, but the reality is not, right? Culturally accepted and civilized behaviors, law enforcement and secure and order, and you know, these are the ideal one, but of course it's still far away from that. Therefore, character education should be emphasized there. But micro strategy is through the curriculum. So that's I put that because there is a strategy, a national strategy, through teaching and learning activities. That is when we can contribute in that, the English education later on. Okay. So the three components, I think I heard someone said that, you know, only the practice is not there, because characters develop through these three. One is ngerti, yeah, knowing the good, being aware of that, the values. For example, can identify the excellence in many areas of endeavor, understand the performance virtues required to pursue excellence, for example. So knowing, yeah. Then moral character recognizes the ethical dimensions of situations, grapples for the important moral questions. How will this decision affect others? How would I like to be treated if I were in this situation? So, you know, the teacher should make the student aware of this, okay? Discussing. I'll show you later on through English teaching. But the student's awareness of the good values are important. It's important there. I used to read Ramayana. Mahindran, you know Ramayana, right? Mahabharata. And I try to classify the actions of the Kurawa and Pandava. And I learned a lot from that. And my conclusion is that the good thing needs struggle to achieve, and many obstacles. But finally, the help will come. That's my conclusion in SMP. You know, at that time I just read books at that time because I was not interested in the way my teachers taught. So I read novels then. So that's awareness, became awareness here. Then you also have the attitude, you know, is strongly motivated to give best effort. Like, aku ingin, I want to be the excellent in my class. So you spend your time, your money, your thought, etc. for your learning. Okay, being self-disciplined and socially good. You work together with your friends, for example. And is committed to high quality work. You revise your writing, you know, try to improve everything. Then cares deeply about doing the right thing. So you try to judge whether what you will do is good or not for you and for other people. Makes the moral self central to identity. You try to build your identity as morally good. You know, that is your own, you know. Other people cannot you know, do something for you. Has the courage of conscience and in the face of social pressure. So you if someone else, I think Pak Mahindran said, when you see someone is you know, sensitive of other religion, you will call, right? You will do something. So it means that you have the courage of conscience in the face of social pressure. So then only by awareness and attitude you will have action. Okay. So at least there are 3 levels. So I think I will relate that to the later on the effective learning. So it's not easy. It's not now being attending in the class and tomorrow will be good. No. Jadi kalau dalam agama Islam setannya banyak, goda-goda gitu ya. So you know, it's not easy to form character. Needs a long process and continuous evaluation and assessment. So you have the ngerti is Ki Hajar, knowing the good, likona, and ngerasa itu Ki Hajar, and feeling the good, likona, and nglakoni also Ki Hajar, and acting the good, that's likona, the same here. But Ki Hajar had no time to translate into practice, right, at that time, because he died, he was not that old, right, in the 59 something. So he has great ideas. We have to continue that. But the 3, ngerti, ngerasa, nglakoni, match with the present theories of character education. You know, excellent, right? We have to continue that. Now then, I would like to present this one too because it's very important here. So this is by Stephen Covey. He's a businessman, a religious person, and he is a teacher too, you know. So he said, after you know, living in a long time, building this business as his career, he comes to a conclusion that character grows in the soil of experience with a fertilization of examples. So now, Mahindran said the role model, okay, the role model, there's examples. The moisture of ambition, we have to have the ambition. And, sorry, the last is the sunshine of satisfaction. So if we feel satisfaction, it's like the sunshine. Then character cannot be purchased, bargained for, inherited, rented, or imported from far. So we have to develop our own character in our own situation. Then you have in relation to English teaching, the appropriately designed EFL teaching learning can offer experience with the teacher as the role model and students having freedom to express their ambition, and the experience of satisfaction with the observance of certain character values. So, you know, so we can put English language education through this, consistent with this. And our practice now is the communicative language teaching. You know, the text-based instruction is one of the models. So I relate that, and I would like to remind you of some important points of communicative language teaching, which are very relevant to this. The first one is the 10 assumption. Look at this. Second or foreign language learning is facilitated when learners are engaged in interaction and meaningful communication. So we have to involve our learners, students, in meaningful communication, not just memorizing, right? And the second one is effective classroom learning tasks and exercises provide opportunities for students to negotiate meaning, expand their language resources, notice how language is used, and take part in meaningful interpersonal exchange through simulations, through games, through, you know, that one. Meaningful communication results from students processing content that is relevant, purposeful, interesting, and engaging. Therefore, now the curriculum Merdeka, the students are given opportunities to select materials, okay, because of this one. It's consistent with this. Not only the teachers knowing that, but students should be involved in choosing. Communication is a holistic process that often calls upon the use of several language skills and modalities. So now we have TikTok, we have Facebook, right? In teaching, you have Instagram, whatever. You know, it's not just from the teacher, but you have that. I think it's you know, this assumption is relevant today. And of course, number 5, I have to put this one in again. Oh my God. What should I do? Language learning is facilitated by both by activities that involve inductive and discovery learning of underlying rules of language use and organization, as well as by those involving language analysis and reflection. So I think this combination of all techniques, you know, which are useful. So it's I would say this is eclectic. Okay, in fact, we're eclectic. And David Noonan said that communicative language teaching is, in fact, a set of approaches. It's not one. So we should not be fanatic about one way of teaching. So language learning is a gradual process. That's the same as character formation, you know. Character formation is a gradual process. So language teachers should be very patient in helping the student develop their characters, as the patience required in helping the student to develop communicative language proficiency. Then, what is the involved here? Creative use of language and trial and error. You know, sometimes we have to have this one. Let the student have trial and error. Nyoba, biarin aja salah dikit. Okay, that's the now. Not asking you to be correct all the time. You know, no, it's impossible. So however, here, although errors are normal product of learning, the ultimate goal of learning is to be able to use the new language both accurately and fluently. But now the development of English I think has to be considered, so that the criteria is intelligibility, okay? Intelligibility instead of 100% accuracy. So like, for example, Pak Mahindran's English is a bit Malaysian, my English is a bit Indonesian, you know. We cannot ask them. You cannot ask us to be American English, for example, okay? Then number 7, learners develop their own routes to language learning, which is here, again, this is andragogical, okay? Consistent with Curriculum Merdeka. Their routes of learning, they have their own ways of learning. Then progress at different rates and have different needs and motivation for language learning. Very Curriculum Merdeka, you know, this is really good. And number 8, successful language learning involves the use of effective learning and communicative strategies. So we have to introduce learning strategies to our students. And I hope the student teachers here are also familiar with learning strategies. Then number 9, the role of the teacher in language classroom is that of facilitator. I think we have that, but now probably is also a mentor, also a coach, the latest development, who creates a classroom climate conducive to language learning and provides opportunities for students to use and practice the language and to reflect on language use and language learning. Reflection is required in Curriculum Merdeka, right? So I try to correlate that so that all of us will help our student teachers to develop into good teachers later on. The last one is very interesting here. The classroom is a community where learners learn through collaboration, sharing. So in a community of language teaching, the teacher is also a learner, okay? And that is also relevant to Ki Hajar's teaching, okay? We are all learners. We learn from everyone, from everywhere. So these are the, just to remind you that, so that later on our decision will be that. And this also cognitive competence now is consists of 6, and you have here, the values are here. The social cultural competence here is taking the values contained in the text and in producing text. Okay, this is culture, this is character. And the interactional competence, where to stop, where to interrupt, where to begin the conversation, how, this is all characters. Whether polite or not, even including the behavior, Mahindran, when we are talking with older people, we have to bow, for example. This is all here in the cognitive competence. And the activities can be classified into 2. Pre-communicative is learning about language, theory, but then communicative here, using what you have learned. So I think later on we can see that. Then I try to present what we have developed in through research, that in Indonesia, we have to integrate the character values and the development of HOTS, the development of 4 centuries, 21st century skills. So the teacher is crowded with all of the tasks, right? So we have to put into a framework so that the teacher will not be confused. This is the framework here. It's called principled genre-based teaching here. So we have the PKOF here. We have supported reading and listening and viewing. If we have PKOF only one text, it's not enough, okay? So we have to continue to repeat again, but different texts. And then of course this one is, the other 3 is you are all familiar with that. So we put the character education into these steps. Now then how we put it here, the ELT here, we have to select the text, okay, which contains values we want to instill. Then we have to design the processes so that the values are there felt by the students, and authentic English use through the practice, there's cognitive. Then selected text, we have to have the form and content here. So the form is, well, like narrative. You have the 3 parts, the function of that. So the students are helped in understanding the function of each component, why, there's critical thinking. And the content should include the values which we want to teach the students. And we discuss that with the students. So selection is very important. The teaching learning process, again, the teacher is the role model. Then the students' good behavior should also be the model for that. And learning activities should also encourage students to practice the characters' values. Then other relevance here. Then, because my time is limited, so how long again? Okay, all right. So awareness here, that's the practice here. Look at this is PKOF, right? Ngerti. Performance characters can identify excellence in many areas of endeavor. So the text should be on successful life, events or program with ups and downs, full of struggles, ending in ups high. Like Bharatayuddha, yeah? Bharatayuddha is that one here. So, you know, it should be very showing the struggles. Can we select text like this one? Is it available or not? Do you think? It must be available, exploring that. So activities, the students answer the questions of HOTS, high order thinking skills, using Parrott's taxonomy. You know, are you familiar with that? Parrott taxonomy. Then plus intercultural comparison, substantial, relationship between events and people, cultural differences and similarities, for example. You know, this is that. What is the point here? List of excellent ideas, decisions, actions, efforts, and achievement from the text. And related values like criticality, reflectivity, objectivity, perseverance, hard work, etc. These are important. So the student will see that successful people can reach the success through hard work, for example. Okay. Then here, understand performance here, discussion of answers to the question and identifying together the virtues, the good characters, values. For example, curiosity, critical thinking, creativity, whether the characters in the text here have the values. Because this is just an example. So when we have the workshop, we can explore further. Okay, but you know, we have to discuss that. For those who are Muslim, for example, you have learned from the story of our Prophet, for example, but not memorizing. Okay, identifying the struggle, identifying the patience, identifying whatever there. Okay? Moral character here, using the same text, but you have to recognize the ethical dimensions. Analysis, discussion on any ethical issues found in the text. So the student will list the wrongdoings and the right doings and their impacts, okay, through the English text. Then after that, they propose alternative actions which are more ethical, okay. Then there's down here, thinking about that. So these critical thinking, creativity, innovation here. So, you know, with moral character here, the student will identify which doings are wrong, which doings are right, but why are wrong, and what is the impact on others, okay? Which decisions are wrong, which decisions are right. Then in MDOT here, of course you have the accuracy, right? So the students are strongly motivated to give their best, like reducing the errors. So willingly making best efforts, individually checking understanding with friends, to learn about the structures in terms of form, meaning, and use, arguing for the importance of doing so. Okay, this is so you can imagine how busy they are when using the genre pace. But not only knowing, now committed to high quality work, making use of feedback, for example, not sad because of the feedback, because some students are not good, are not happy when, you know, banyak coretan, ya. But in fact, this is a feedback for improvement here. Arguing for the importance of doing so. So you have this one here, and moral character, you have this arguing for and to promote importance of creating own sentences, not just copying others. This is academic integrity, plagiarism, right? So you know, we can support the character education throughout English teaching. And of course here is honesty and responsibility. But not only that, if we see other people doing bad thing, we have to stand up for principles. So we can to remind them, okay? Then this, I think, the last one here. When you have now this is the joint construction here. So you have what is the skills? The skills of being through that is regularly exploring various sources to find model texts. So the students are, are long for reading more and more in text to study that. And strategies to improve mastery of vocabulary and grammar, so they are independent with the guidance of the teacher. And you have do the practice here, independently practicing constructing text in a cycle of write, self-review, revise, peer review, revise to reach excellence. Okay, this is the independent learning. I've done that with my the student I supervise in thesis writing. It's very important. Then this is the values, and I think we have to remember that character education is effective learning, so it's not instant learning. You cannot have crash program for character. Pancasila apa namanya 2 minggu penataran Pancasila. No, you cannot change. Yeah, only understanding, because we have this is receiving only. Okay. Receiving is just knowing, but then whether we respond or not, let's respond. And valuing here, motivated to invest, choosing to behave a certain way, choice, begin to identify your behavior, and then this one is values becoming systematic. You do that, but not always. But this one is your character. Discipline, for example. You are disciplined, but very often only, right? Not always. For example, Pak Sil, yeah, okay, discipline, but very often lah, not all. But Pak Han, wow, that's excellent, always discipline, for example. What about Bu Nani? Yeah, she's talking about discipline, promoting that, but still very, very rare, for example. But we give, we give the point, yeah, because of this. Oh, Bu Lakshmi, yeah, she's good in talking about discipline. So that was only receiving. So so levels of character. Pak Mahendran said, yeah, my impression is he is apa tadi? Rata-rata, ya, medium, okay, not good. So, but we can develop systematic evaluation like this one, okay. Then the verbs to have to have the task already, given here. So we want to our student to practice the values. We have to give the task by using these verbs, action verbs, and it's all in the in the website. So you can just open the website. Then personality. I think I'm interested in the question when in the class there are so many characters, right? The characters can be divided into 4, classified. One group of students are upholder. Upholder means meets outer expectation, meets inner expectation, very disciplined, ambition, very independent. But other students might be obliger, meets outer expectation, resist inner expectation. So kalau ada orang lain baik gitu. Okay, that's that. Pokoknya cari muka, ya. Then you also rebel. Resist outer expectation, resist inner. Pokoknya berontak, waton suloyo, ya. There are some like that. Also questioner, apa-apa waton bertanya, apa-apa bertanya. Okay. Resist outer experience and meets inner expectation. So we can design this to develop that. So my conclusion is that when designed purposefully, ELT can contribute to the improvement of character education through exploring both performance and moral character values contained in texts, in instructional processes, and authentic English use. The contribution will be optimal if students are intentionally involved in discussing the importance of values for the benefits of their own development and in experience of mission. Now, the last slide. I think this is by John Luther, is a comedian in the British, BBC, yeah? But I'm interested in this, that good character is more to be praised than outstanding talent. In Indonesia, usually teachers, ini lo yang juara, ini lo yang hebat, no. And other students, you know, nothing, right? Please don't do that. Most talents are to some extent a gift from God, okay? Good character, by contrast, is not given to us. We have to build it piece by piece, by thought, by choice, by courage and determination. So we have to determine, to be determined in having good character, self-discipline, and we have to have our goal of character. Okay, I think this is the end of that. Bu Laksmi, thank you very much.
Okay, please warm round of applause for both of the keynote speakers. Okay, thank you very much, Professor, for giving such informative and interesting presentations and also ideas, yeah, in exploring possible contributions of English language education to character education. There have been some questions addressed to us in our virtual meeting, so let us address them first. Yeah. Okay, I like to invite Kim Tan, Justina Mina, and another one is Gaspar Sinar, our Zoom attendee. Kim Tan, Justina, and Gaspar. Silakan. Boleh ditanyakan langsung ke speakers. Well, actually, Pak Didi told me that you can do the seminar in 2 languages, Bu Laksmi, so bilingual seminar. Okay, silakan. Okay, Kim Tan dan Justina. Okay, ya. Yeah. Okay, yes, thank you. Okay, Kim Tan, Justina, dan Gaspar bisa raise hand dulu supaya kami bisa mempin kamera kalian. Silahkan. Actually, I have asked them to prepare themselves for asking directly to the speakers. All right. But Prof. Farsi, I think you can also open the Q&A button. Okay, the questions are there. Dari Kim Tan dan dari Justina Mina. Oh, okay. I think we have Bu Justina Mina here. Ibu, I have catch your.
Okay.
Ya, okay, Bu, silakan.
Okay, nice to meet Prof. Suwarsi.
You too.
Well, when we talk about character, I think it's very interesting. So every day in school, many teachers talk about characters to the students. But in fact that many students in school, there are lack of the good characters. So now I need Prof. Suwarsi suggestion or advice, opinion, how to build the right character to produce the good students' characters in school. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Okay, I'll thank you for the question, Bu Justina. It's a very interesting question, and I will share the experience of a teacher who in a very short time changed the students' attitude. Okay, there's a new teacher. The teacher is interested in teaching, and she has the passion of teaching. And what is first done is to make herself friends of the students. You know what I mean? So she opens her heart and her mind to embrace the student's soul. I don't know whether it's abstract or not. So she decided to accept the students as they are, and part of the community there, like the last assumption. because of that, the students feel safe in her class. The students feel that the teacher is their friends, and to whom they can curhat, you know. Whatever said by the student, she listened. Okay. Only by then she kind of usually suggests something. For example, by saying, "Mbak, kenapa sih nggak masuk?" You know, instead of, "Hey, masuk." No. Kenapa nggak masuk? Saya anu Bu. Nah, kenapa? Sini dong. You know, it's she tried to involve and listen. I think when you want to the student to change their behavior to listen to you, you have to create an environment, situation in which the students feel that you are their friends. You know, they feel safe in saying something. And I think I also have my experience in solving the problem of a student in IKIP, at that time. He would like to kill himself. It's a kind of hopelessness. But I said, look, why? So I tried to dig out, you know, and let him speak whatever, about 3 hours, you know, 3 hours listening to that, and finally he can review his attitude. Iya ya Bu, berarti saya salah. Okay, so you know, I think in helping the student develop their characters, first try before designing any whatever design. If your student do not feel safe in your classroom, they will not change there. They will be resistant. So be their friends, listen to them, accept them as they are, and try to take out what they want. There's a needs analysis, and only then you try to involve them in activities, which in fact by designing the activities, the discipline is there. You know, they will listen to you, and this is a design. I practice that without asking my student to read. I usually create tasks which force them to read. You know, so hidden curriculum. It's called hidden curriculum. It's not necessarily that one. That's my answer, Justina. After they accepted you and they feel safe, you can do everything, you know, and they will listen to you.
Prof, I just continue with your answer. So I think to the person who asked the question, I think, as I said earlier, if you are a good role model, they will follow you. The point is, like what Prof. Swasi said, character education is not a 1 day or 1 week job. It's an ongoing thing. So you, first of all, has to be a role model. If you are a good role model, they will follow you without you requesting them. Okay, so please take note of being the good role model first, and everything will follow with that. Okay, thank you.
And
thank you, sir.
One point more. I also faced that long ago, when I taught in SMA 1 year. So I tried to why English is not, they don't like English, you know. Why? I said, karena selalu minus nilainya. Hah? Minus. So -2, -3 gitu katanya guru sebelumnya. Oh gitu. So after, look, bahasa Inggris itu memang tidak mudah karena bukan bahasa kita. Jadi kalau salah boleh ya Bu, ya boleh, kenapa enggak? Ibu dulu juga salah kok. Tapi terus ini. So by making them feel that, for example, not appropriate. Jadi gini, belum benar perilakunya itu ya namanya proses belajar, tapi harus dikurangi. Nah, I think this is the general approach. Thank you, Bu.
Yeah, thank you for the questions, and thank you, professors, for attending the questions. Okay, Gaspar Sinar, can you raise your hand so that we can pin your picture? Or probably audience participants attending here in Senate room. Any questions, guys? Oh, Yunus, you again? Oke, hang on.
Yunus ya.
Alright, Gaspar kita skip dulu ya. Kita ke real attendance dulu di sini. Silakan Yunus.
Okay, thank you for the time that you give for me. So before I ask your question, I have to tell the story behind this question. So when I was high school, I have two kind of different teacher. First one is he's a bad guy, you know, the way he talk, the way he act, is like a bad guy, and the society looking at him like this is not a good teacher. But when he explains something in the class, we all understand that. And another teacher, he's so, you know, calm. And when he talk or when he explain the material, we don't really understand, you know. So maybe after I graduate from this university, I must to go back to my hometown, and maybe I will be a teacher. So I wanna know your. Can you give me some advice that what I have to do? I have to be a teacher, follow my student, you know. If they like a teacher that act bad, like something like that, so they can understand what I'm talking about, or I have to become myself, just be myself. That's my question. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yusuf. It's a very challenging question, you know. Relate that to moral characters and performance character. The moral character is the good guy, yeah. Then the performance character is the one bad guy, but good at teaching. Now we need both. Okay, we need both. Be yourself is okay, but you have to refine your character. Okay, I think as the last slide, characters we have to build it. We means not other people. We have to build it piece by piece. So if, for example, Yusuf realizes that, oh, I cannot explain well, you have to find out the way of explaining. There's some procedures in the way of explaining. So there's communication skill. Communication skill, how to explain the big thing, starting from the whether the inductive or deductive. So that's the role of pedagogy and methodology. So I think as teachers we have to be both. We learn how to teach, there's performance character, and also when teaching we have to say, for example, step by step, you know, it's not in my own selera, no, but we have to follow the research findings that when we talk, you should not jump to big, small, big, but for example inductive from small to bigger, and all deductive, that one. So learning how to teach well, how to explain, how to give examples, that's also, you know, important for us. So my conclusion is we need both. Moral character is a good guy, and what do you want? Effective teaching, effective teachers, if you want to. And today we have the so-called reflective teachers. Reflective teachers reflect all the time, improve all the time, because they have to evaluate their own teaching every night. The evaluation here, you know, why today I fail, why today and try to find information from research studies, research finding, what makes student unhappy, for example. And the present students, I'm too old to teach in the school now, for example. I cannot follow the present students' taste on music, of colors, very different, you know. But I probably conceptually I'm better, but practically probably it's not good. But both, yeah, Yusuf. Thank you. Yunus, sorry. I plan to say Yunus.
But by the way, where are you from? South? Where is that? Maluku. Oh. Oh, but Indonesia also. Oh, okay. Oh, you are still Indonesian. Oh, okay. Okay, I too agree with Prof. Swase. I think one is based on your I've been a discipline teacher, English teacher, but also a discipline teacher. So although my teaching is good, many students don't like me because I'm the discipline teacher. So the school admin will purposely put me in all the lousy classes, so that because the other teachers cannot control them. So when I go there, I have to be a discipline teacher and also English language teacher. So it's how you play your role. So you have to be good at both sides. So you have to do some kind of needs analysis, check on what is the requirement of your students. So you have to play a multiple role. As a discipline teacher, as a male teacher, you'll have so much of problem when you face all these female students. So you have to do needs analysis and play this dual role as a teacher and also as a maybe discipline teacher or role model. Very important thing. Okay, good question. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, thank you for the question, Tunis, and also thank you, professors, for taking care of his questions. Okay, from this side to our real participants first.
Real. Real.
Yes.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the chance given to me. I would like to ask you, first I would like to tell a story. I'm a teacher at kindergarten school, and one case in my school is I have one student, not one, but several students with special needs. With special, and what is my question is about how to integrate about the knowledge and also about the characters in teaching them, since for students with special needs, sometimes they give influence for others, to the class will run not in order, like they are shouting, they are running, they mess all things inside the classroom, and it is very challenge for me to be a teacher to teach about the knowledge, also about the characters, since I don't know why, but maybe in curriculum right now they just mix for student for special needs and also for another students. So can you give some advice, or what should I do to can integrate knowledge and also character in my teaching process? Thank you.
So, sorry, you are teaching in kindergarten, right?
Yes.
Okay. Kindergarten, I don't think we teach content, yeah? But we try to expose students to experiences, so they are absorbing something, but not formal teaching. Kindergarten is still experiencing, moving, socializing, and then so we have to take into consideration research studies, for example, by Piaget, that kindergartens are not yet, thinking is not, operating well, not yet. Now then, inclusive must be inclusive kindergarten. That's the way for the teacher to make the normal students empathize, with the others. Suppose that you are like that, So it's through what? Through designs of activities together, for example, by pairing, and you call it buddy system, yeah. So, but it's through acting, through socializing, through that's what I read in kindergarten teaching, and I observe in some countries, they create busy busy situation is with everyone is involved. Then if there are, how many special students you have? 2. The 2 should not be together. Otherwise, you have, and usually, if I'm not mistaken, you have the shadow teacher. If this is usually the shadow teacher will take care of that when it's out of control. Otherwise, the teachers will not be able to tackle all. So the standard ways, when inclusive schools, the parents should provide shadow teachers, which can handle when sometimes tantrum. It's not easy. Either with this autism is sometimes very high, and I have some niece, distant niece that is an autist, but now it's okay because the psychologists have helped him in finding himself. But the parents have sent the shadow teacher to the school, to the kindergarten. Otherwise, they will. But at least you do not put together that one here. But don't teach the knowledge. It's just through activities, and they will be okay. Like singing or the moving and work together, and coloring, the things like that. Though sometimes the colors also taught them how say classification of animals, but you do not teach this is animal and no, this is just that one. Once you prepare everything, okay, then the psychological condition, when they enter primary school, they are ready. So not too early to flood their cognitive potential, because it's not yet ready. That's my answer. You can add, Mahendra.
I just add a little bit to your question. You are not a teacher trained for special ed. Are you into special education? No. Students, you are majoring in English. So if you have special needs children in your school, in your class, first of all, congratulations to you, because you have the patience to teach them. Okay, but in Malaysia, if you are teaching special needs children, you are given extra allowance because you are handling them.
Not easy.
Yeah, because it's not easy to handle them. I've taught them. I've taught autistic children. So they send me for a course, 2 weeks course, and then they paid me extra additional things to my salary so that I learn to handle them. I know it's not easy, but when it comes to character education, you are not teaching them content. Like what Prof. Suase said, you have to teach them all the basic things, basic characters needed. Belief in God. Like if the student is a girl, you must tell them the basic things, how to use the toilet, not to let any other man to touch them, what are the sensitive things that they should take care. These are the things, how to count. They should be taught the characters to survive in case they don't have any parents. One day the parents will leave them. So they should be able to survive in this world on their own. So these are the characters we are teaching. So you have to have the patience, because they will jump all over you and will try to beat you, punch you, and still you have to tolerate. You shouldn't lose your temper. And I just want to share one story. This is just the funny part of teaching Pendidikan Khas. You call it here Pendidikan Khas or what? Special needs in Malaysia, they call Pendidikan Khas. So this teacher was teaching next to my class, and she was so angry. She was teaching about bunga, flowers. And then she didn't bring any flashcards of bunga. So she was wearing a batik that day, Thursday. Every Thursday, Malaysian teachers, they must wear batik. That's the ruling in Malaysia. So happened her batik that day had a big flower all over the shirt, all over the blouse. So she was telling the students, ini bunga, this is bunga. And then one boy, the student, saya mau bunga, he jumped over the, he jumped. Real story, it's not joke, or I'm not cooking up stories. Really happened in the class. So the teacher got angry. She said, apa tak paham, ini bunga. So the boy said, saya mau bunga. He jumped over the teacher and grabbed the blouse, t-shirt, all over the batik. So the boys are very aggressive. They are hyperactive. They are also cannot control them, very difficult. So if you are teaching them, you must have all the patience and teach them only the characters. Yeah, the understanding of what this world is all about. Okay, so hats off to you. So be patient. You will be rewarded by God. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you.
So there's two interesting questions here. The one is from what is it? Everyone from Tiara Nusa. I don't know. The basic of character education is in the family. The teachers and all the schools have to communicate the improvement of students' character to families. So you know, as not only communicating, but they have to work together. In fact, the schools have to know the policy of character education, whether you know what, for example, what values are emphasized in a certain semester. So the teacher, the families, the parents will support at home. So you know, it's not only the result, but I think they have to communicate from the beginning. It's good, Ibu. The second one is from Cornelia Nurjia. This is about blended learning. The material is very interesting, and the blended learning, the blended learning model is very suitable for strengthening character, but we need to pay attention to is exactly what kind of blended learning. Oh, all right. Well, blended learning is just model, but what we have to pay attention is when blended learning means we have to have two through the online and the offline. What we have to do is to analyze which parts of the learning can be better delivered through blended, through online, which part can be offline. So I think we have to analyze not just combination, we have to really sit together and analyze which will which. Now, only that, then we have to fill in that, but we have to utilize the power of technology for the student to explore different situations, different texts in which the values can be identified. However, the teacher has to explore the internet themselves first, so that the exploration will be guided. Yeah? There's guidance. Keywords, for example, should be given to students. Otherwise, they will go everywhere. You know, you will regret that. So keywords should be the guide for there's online, and then after online, through the offline, discuss the values, so that the students will see the connection between the online and offline teaching, and this is the whole through. I think that this is the way to design blended learning, and whichever model you can judge if some values will be better delivered in online or offline. I think that's all.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Warsi. And okay, we have a raised hand here from Kaspar Sinar. Okay, Kaspar, please shoot us with your questions.
Okay, thank you very much. My question is related to teaching English in the class. What is our goal? Improve the students' ability in English or improve the students' character? Thank you very much. That's a simple question from me.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
All right. Okay, that's a very interesting question. When I'll put it this way, easier. When we are using English, we are speaking with other people. Do we have to follow the rules? What is like politeness? You know, being empathic and being a good listener, and know where to begin, how to end in a conversation, how to interrupt politely, how to whatever, right? In fact, if we teach our students to be able to speak in English or to write in English, we also have to fulfill the criteria of good communication, right? So in short, within the communication itself, there are some character values, okay? Respect for the people, for example. Listen carefully without any prejudice. So this is also character. So if we do not teach English grammar, no, and there is nothing. But we try to teach our students to use English appropriately. We have to think what to say, to whom we say it, and what purpose and what situation. I think who has demanded this is sociolinguistic, right? What to say to whom, in what situation, for what purpose. The situation is formal, informal, what purpose is the purpose of communication. All of these, the language use contain values, okay? Writing a letter, for example, how to open a letter, different from English, different from Indonesian. Let me tell you a story. This is very funny story. My parents foster parents once complained. Sumasi, he said, we have been confused for 1 month after receiving a letter from a girl in Indonesia. The opening is like this one. Dear John and Joan, please forgive me for my misbehavior. Okay? And because she was there for 3 months, so suddenly Joan and John, whether she has stolen or what, So they travel around the house. The house is very big. I once lived there for 2 weeks. And that nothing missing, everything is still in place. So what's wrong? So finally they invited me to have dinner. And I said, why? Where is the letter? The letter said, please forgive me for my misbehavior, for all my misbehavior. Itu kan terjemahan dari minta maaf atas semua kesalahan before. This is the Indonesian, very Indonesian. So, that is a lack of intercultural knowledge, right? So one sentence has made the couple, Dr. John and his wife, confused for the whole month, just finding out what misbehavior she had. So this is when we teach our students, we should also teach what proper sentences for a certain text. Okay, like for example, Bu Nani said, it's a good blouse. Kalau kita kan enggak, ini kan hanya murah, ya kan? So what does it mean? We do not. If I say this, it means that I do not appreciate her compliment. Okay, so I have to say thank you if I speak in English. Okay. So this is all English behaviors. English, what do you call it? Use English verbal behaviors also have values in it. There's very cultural values. Internationally, for example, if I meet this, I learned a lot when I was in Australia. I could make conversation with all people because I never raised personal issues. Okay, so making friends. But my friends have difficulty. Every time she began to talk with personal, and the people there just went away, no comment. Okay, so this is also something value in that, meaning that when we educate our students English, we also form their characters. Good students of language will be more empathetic, will be more communicative, will be good listeners, will be more tolerant. That is the characters of language students. I think I'm thankful that I switched from I used to love, the numbers. I love the trigonometry, algebra, etc. Switch to language. I'm grateful. Otherwise, I would be something else. I used to be very strict, very logical, and it's very analytical, not patient with speaking with other people. But when I learn English, I have to be very patient, remembering all the pronunciations of the stresses, etc. Oh my God, it's easier to have an algebra, and you know that once the concept is okay, will be okay. But learning English make us patient and tolerant and everything. So in short, when we teach English, we also form characters. If we teach English as a language with its characters, not just speaking English without any character. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Prof, for responding to the questions. Now, can I move to the YouTube participants? There is one question from Nur Laksmita Ramadanti. Yeah, I think she was our student. Okay, her questions or her comments here. The Indonesian curriculum places significant emphasis on character education, though it may occasionally overlook the practical utility of English language skills in real-life situations. Any thoughts for these professors?
So, overlooking the importance of English. Yeah, practical utility. Yeah, I think we cannot deny that. In some places without English, they still live okay, right? So I think what we have to do is to not to impose the belief that English is number one and without English you cannot live. No, it's not true either. So I have advice, like say for example, one my student said that their students against English because English belong to kafir, you know. It's very extreme, right? So, Bu, anak-anak itu bilang nih, untuk apa? Itu kan bahasanya penjajah, orang kafir. Oh my God. Jadi gimana? Aku bingung, Bu. Sini tak bisi siapa? So you can say, for example, there are many misunderstanding about Indonesia, about religion, about that. By having English, you can explain about Indonesia, that Indonesia has a biggest population of Muslim, but we live together, you know. So when I told her, oh ya Bu, saya nggak pernah terpikir itu. So you know, so having that, the student change. Okay, the student change. That is not practical now, but you can, especially now in the ICT era, they can communicate with other people and explaining that. And probably looking for a job, translation, for example, many other things. But we should not impose as if this is something that they can accept without any thinking. So we have to involve them in a discussion in situations in which they see the relevance of English. Like if they, but in some places I have visited. For example, Ngada, yeah, anyone from here, and Raja Ampat, yeah. In some places, no connection at all. So I said, oh my God. So what is? They don't see even the relevance of education, you know. So in that case, we have to create. Oh, I don't know what to say because I haven't been teaching in that situation. But learning from Hartfield is a lady who has written many books like communication games, etc. She once taught in Africa without anything, but she creates the techniques with the games, etc. So the students are involved in games without realizing that they are learning English. Okay, so learning English is not imposed by kita belajar karena Inggris bagus. No. Create activities in which the students are encouraged or are attracted to involve because of the games. So games, I think, are very important in that situation, without thinking too much about how important English is. Or don't talk about that. For them, it's rubbish. Yeah? But games are important for students. And Hartfield has written vocabulary games, communication games from elementary, intermediate, advanced, and also, grammar games, a lot, Thank you.
Yeah, maybe I just want to add a little bit more. This character education, sometimes if the characters are imposed by foreign writers, then you might feel that the characters that they are trying to impose is not in harmony with our education characters. Okay, so what the government could do or the universities could do is maybe you could use a literary text written by the locals, so they understand the sentiment of the needs of characters in Indonesia. Like I see in India, when they study about poems and short stories and novels, they are more into Indian based novels, so that if you go and see the students in India, the characters that they have developed is very much based on novels like Mahabharata, like Ramayana, and because they use that short stories and excerpts from that to teach the students. In some countries, you might not have English novels that are on par with overseas. Like in Malaysia, it's very difficult to get a novel for literature that is of the standard of UK. So in that case, okay, one or two we use selected novels from overseas. Otherwise, try to use our novels and short stories. The materials that you use preferably are written by locals, because they understand the sentiments, the needs, the characters of the locals. Okay, so I think I've added to Prof. Swasi. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, professors, for responding to the questions. Okay, from our real participants here, is there any more questions addressed to our speakers? Guys, any questions to Professor Warsi or Professor Mahindran? No? Okay, one last questions, Prof, and this is also from our Zoom part. Oh, okay, Franciscus Munga. Okay, yes, could you turn on your camera? Okay, yes, just shoot your questions. Unmute first.
Unmute. Cannot hear you. Cannot hear you.
Yes, your microphone is still muted, Franciscus. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Thanks for chance given to me. I would like to ask how to teach character in teaching English in the classroom. Meanwhile, we just concentrate to translate the language to the students. I mean that how to teach the character in teaching English in the classroom. Meanwhile, we just concentrate to translate the text, or how to teach the students in the classroom. That's all. Thank you.
Okay. The teachers just translate. Translation cannot be avoided, but I think we have to use other techniques. Yeah? Not only translation. For example, through pictures. Okay? The pictures, for example, instead of saying a cow sapi, a cow sapi, a cow is a sapi, but cow, by using pictures, then you have the picture of cow, for example. So then when they forget, they have to repeat, right? So when I taught in that SMA, involve them in a discussion, like saying, asking them, why do you forget? Ya nggak tahu Bu, kami itu nggak suka karena lupa terus. Oke, kalian mengulangi nggak? Untuk apa? Ya supaya tidak lupa. Enggak. Nah, berarti kalian tuh mungkin bisa loh, tapi karena tidak mengulangi. So kind of this is also character that learning needs effort. Okay, the value of hard work. But don't tell the student, oh, this is the value. Just involve them in, for example, repeating the word through pictures, and also sometimes after being introduced to pictures, the meanings, you can ask them, you can create crossword puzzles to let them see again and again the words and the meaning. You can also involve media like word search to let them identify the words in the box of that. And these can be created through applications. So the crossword puzzles can be created through the so-called hot potatoes application. Then word search can be created to word search engines. So the teachers today are spoiled by the technology. It's not like my time. I have to spend a lot, to create crossword puzzles. But today you just use the applications. And I think it will help that teacher to instill some values like hard work. If you want to have excellence, you have to repeat, and the teacher has the role model of helping students by creating media and by being patient to say mendampingi, what is to be the to mentor the students. So character values cannot be taught by theory, but through actions, through activities in which the teacher is one of the members practicing that values, like hard work. The teacher also has worked hard to create media, to give feedback, and the student will respond. And I'm interested in Pak Mahendran's statement that if you are good, your student will feel, raise, but their heart will accept you. Jadi ada telepati ya, telepati that if you are good, you are working hard, your student will respond well. So the translation is not something to be avoided, but can be supported by pictures, by action, by repetition of learning. Vocabulary cannot be avoided, must be done. No one can learn a new word by learning it once. There's an iron law in language learning. But repetition should not be just free repetition. The teacher should design that. And once I have a project of training teachers in Sleman, creating crossword puzzles, but thematic, So crossword puzzles, and that one is thematic, like environment in the school, environment, neighborhood, etc. So they will see again and again with different topics but one theme. So I think that is my answer. So you integrate the character instillements with the learning activities and the teacher's model. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. I get the point. Okay, thank you.
Just to the person who asked the question, I just want to add a little bit more to what Prof. Swase said. Probably in a language class, character education cannot be directly taught. It has to be embedded. It is taught in isolation. So even if it is a translation, you just try to include or embed character education in whatever you are teaching, in the material that you are preparing, like what Prof. Swase said. So direct character education will be taught by teachers who are teaching moral, teachers who are teaching religious classes. They can do that. But in a language class, you can only do it as indirectly, okay, not direct. That is not your job, but in whatever preparation you do, try to include this in isolation, okay. Somewhere along the lesson there is character education, okay. I think that's all for the last question, I think. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, professors, for responding to the questions. Well, dear participants, we finally come to the end part of this seminar. But before then, close the seminar, I would like to take some conclusions from what the panelists have presented. Okay, that character education can be significantly strengthened, by improving core subject learning. This can be achieved through integrations of values in our subject matters, building relevant social skills, and then promoting critical thinking implementing real-life scenarios, role play in lessons, and also reflective teaching and learning and positive reinforcement. All right. Okay, so I'd like to thank to both of our keynote speakers today for the informative and interesting presentations, and also to all participants, real ones or the virtual ones. Thank you very much for the active participant, and hopefully this seminar will be beneficial for all of you all. Thank you very much, and back to Yono and the committee. Big round of applause, everyone.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the presentation for our keynote speakers. The first speaker is Associate Professor Dr. Mahendra Maniam from Sultan Idris Education University, Malaysia, and the second presenter is Professor Suwarsih Madya, MA PhD from Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa, Indonesia. And then once again, we'd like to say thank you to our lovely moderator, Ibu Laksmi Widyarini M. Hum. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, could you please give a big applause to all the presenters and moderators? And then now is the time for the committee to give a token presentation and certificate for the speakers. The token and also the certificate are presented by the graduate student of English Education Directorate of Graduate Program and English Education Department, Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa. And then for this token presentation and certificate presentation will be delivered by Bapak Ananjo Darjito PhD, for Professor Suwarsih Madya MA PhD, and also Ibu Adria Vitalia Gemilang M. Hum, the head of English Education Department, for Professor Dr. Mahendran Maniam. To Bapak Hananjo Darjito PhD and also Ibu Adria Vitalia Gemilang M. Hum, the time is yours. Well, this is the token presentation delivered by Bapak Hananjo Darjito PhD, the head of the graduate program in English Education, Universitas Sarjanawiyata Tamansiswa, to Professor Suwarsih Madya PhD. And then now, as the token presentation, also certificate that will be delivered by Ibu Adria Vitalia Gemilang M. Hum, the head of English Education Department, for Professor Dr. Mahendran Maniam. Well, ladies and gentlemen, could you please give once again a big round of applause for the presenters? Well, that's the end of our presentation, ladies and gentlemen, and then we will have another agenda, which is a parallel station. And for this parallel station, we will have three presenters. The first is Dr. Rebecca Evelyn Laila, MRE from Universitas Nias Raya. The second presenter is Dr. Rifki Aulia Erlangga M. Hum from Universitas Negeri Salatiga. And the third presenter is going to be Dr. Selnistia Hidayania MPD from Universitas Islam Negeri Sultan Maulana Hasanuddin Banten. And for The online participants, the committee has already sent the link for our breakout room. Could you please select your presenters and you can go right away to the breakout room before the breaking time after this. So once again, sekali lagi Bapak Ibu, bagi peserta online, kami persilahkan untuk masuk ke link breakout room yang sudah disediakan oleh panitia. Meskipun nanti acara parallel session akan dilaksanakan pada jam 1 siang. So once again, to all of the online participant, silakan bisa mulai masuk ke breakout room agar nanti lebih mudah mengikuti parallel session. And to all of the participants joining offline room, thank you so much. So please give big round of applause for all of us. So once again, thank you so much and see you again later. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And now is the time for us to have a breaking time for about 1 hour. Enjoy your break. Let's have a break together. Thank you.